Hey, welcome back to the CAF Plus channel, everybody. We've got a CAF update, for you this evening, and it's going to be fun. Definitely going to be fun. Obviously, most of the team is at New York City, and they're having fun too right now. I imagine they're tossing back a cold one or whatever it is they like to drink on a Thursday evening. They have a big meetup tomorrow after the show is over. Maybe even when the show's still going on. I think New York Comic Con is one of those shows that literally they go from like what 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. or some ungodly amount of hours. Whatever it is, it's longer than anybody should be standing on their feet at a Comic Con. But they're doing it. The team is out there, and I'm here by myself. Well, Tatiana is also not there. She's hanging out. She's going to be going to Baltimore and IX. So she's got 2 busy weekends ahead of her. So I don't think she wanted to do 3 weekends in a row. But with that being said, sorry. Welcome to the show. I see everybody's always hanging out here before we get started. And Lone Ranger, I haven't, you're kind of new to the channel, or at least the name's new to the channel. So it's always good to have you back. And what is it? The Real McCoy Collector is also here as well. And yeah, New York Marcus will continually ask, "What's NYCC?" We do not have an answer for you yet, Marcus, but keep asking it, and at some point, I guarantee you that we will have an answer for you. But hey, so we're gonna get things started off tonight. I've got Bob Layton in the green room. He hasn't been on in a while. He had a trip to Malaysia. Invite, all expenses paid trip. I think he didn't even have to pay for any of the food. They fed him from sun up to sundown, and he had a good time. But we're going to show that video. We actually have two Where in the World is Bob Layton's, because he also had the birthday party that we didn't get to celebrate with him as well. So we'll play the Malaysia clip first. I'll bring Bob in, and then we'll see how that went, and then we'll even get to see what happened on his birthday and which cake won the coveted Bob Layton Best Cake in Seoul Award for its third annual. Well, is it third annual event? Yeah, it is, for the third annual event. We'll see who won that. But here he is in Malaysia.
Hey CAF fans, it's me. Welcome to another episode of Where in the World is Bob Layton. If you're wondering what's going on in the background here, it's Chuseok, the Korean holiday. It's like Thanksgiving and Christmas rolled into one. So there's like a huge celebration going on back there. Anyway, I'm on my way to Malaysia. So and in the next video, you'll meet some of the guys who are responsible for me coming there and signing books and doing a personal appearance. So anyway, stay tuned. More to come.
Oh, you can't leave now. Okay,
Oh my God,
introduce
what's
yourself.
happening?
Introduce yourself.
Hello. Hi. I'm Uma. I'm Bahit.
Right, and where are you guys from?
We are from Goggler.my. We're a local Malaysian site that does pop culture, film, and television. And we're the only one of its kind here in Malaysia.
Is that right? So how did our interview go?
Oh, well, I thought it went pretty well. I don't know how you felt it went.
I thought I was a bit arrogant.
Oh, well, wait, me or you?
Me.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Don't worry.
Okay, well, anyway, listen, it was really good fun talking to you guys, all right?
Cheers.
So say hi to America here.
Hello, America.
All right.
And that's why we are proud to have Bob here. Really, I'm excited. I grew up with comics, right? So it's like, when I was told, hey, Bob Layton wants to come to Malaysia, I was like, wow. I mean, like, I get to. Yeah, I remember reading like stuff off the of Valiant, right? When I was really young. And then I was like, oh, Bob Layton, right? And then now I'm with Bob Layton right now in front of me. So it's like, who would have thought, right?
Really young?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Yeah, when I was like 14 years old, 15 years old.
All right.
I'm 47 now.
All right. Well, okay, you guys, you got that right. There you go. So, Chris, thanks so much for having me, and we'll have more later. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Now, introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Saira. I'm one of the co-founders of Collector, and we're here at our experience center in Amcom, PJ, Malaysia.
Well, it's an incredible venue. Can you walk me through it and show
course,
everything?
let's
Okay,
go.
wonderful.
This
Let's
is the
take a
entrance.
watch.
We're entering right now.
Let me get a shot here. So, Mr. Guard. Hi, Mr. Guard. Okay.
So you see when you go in, our app, the event for today, ticket prices, and then what's happening.
That's really wonderful.
On
And they
our
have a
site.
soundproof booth here for something.
Live streaming pod. We're
Live streaming. Okay, that's wonderful. Wow, look at that.
For
Okay.
anyone that wants to live stream on Collector. This is the counter. So you start out. Hello.
I'm podcasting too.
And then you have our vendor.
Okay, so I got my co-host here. She just walked out. Okay.
So this is Pokemon Connect. They're known for Pokemon slabs and Pokemon singles.
All right.
All the rares.
And this is not a Comic-Con. This is strictly for my appearance here, right? That's so incredibly flattering.
They're all here for
Our host, how you doing?
No. No, since Bob, you call me Valiant Boy.
Valiant boy. All right, yeah. So let's walk through here quickly before this becomes an hour-long program.
Gila Poster is known in the community.
Get in front. Okay.
Gila Poster is known in the community. They've been here for like decades. Known for posters. Now
Wow.
if you say to any Malaysian, they know who is Gila Poster.
Okay.
That's a fun fact. This is comics. I think they're not done.
All right.
And then this is Toy Corner, Pokemon.
Yeah, they're still setting up.
And, here
And
we
there's a
have-
guy filming me, filming him. This is my friend Alvin's table right here. Hi, brother. How you doing? You remember him from the Singapore episode? Well, he's here with his lovely wife, and it's great. And he's got Bob Layton Prince, as you can see here, and my buddy Ruby. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Yeah.
Say hi to everybody back in America. We did that fabulous print together, which he doesn't like, but yeah, it's like. And this is the stage where we're going to do the venue, right? We're going to do the interview and everything. And let me go walk up to the front, and we can see the actual art that for auction that I did with Ruby. I have an Iron Man chair doing this.
We got it from TT
This is
Racing.
pretty cool. And here's the actual art that I did with Ruby that's going to be up for all framed up for auction. And my lovely host is going to interview me here in a few minutes.
So, and now, the moment we all been waiting for. Please give a huge Malaysia welcome and selamat datang to the Marvel legend himself, Mr. Bob Layton.
You have a mic? Bob doesn't need a mic, yeah.
I don't need a mic, I can check. Mom used to say, use your indoor voice, Bob. So, yeah, tell me what we're eating here tonight.
This is beef rendang. It's like a coconut, thick coconut with curry beef.
Yeah.
This is like a Malaysia style mashed potato.
All right.
This
So
is
mashed potato, like a fritter.
Yeah, they make it like
all right.
yeah. This is cuttlefish
Cuttlefish.
sweet.
Right,
That
okay.
is the taco.
They go whoosh, 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 cuttlefish,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I remember that. I remember that from the Avengers. Yes.
Yeah. You have prawn right in front of you. And then this is like a coconut rice. And with
And it's got an egg on it, right?
this is like the chicken wings.
And this is a traditional dish here in Malaysia, right?
Yeah, this is like breakfast. You can eat breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Okay, well, let's get at it. What do you say?
And then this is the whole thing. Everyone will go. This the chili.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have the chili, baby.
Crispy.
I'm all about the chili.
Crispy peanut and fresh cucumber.
Oh, yeah.
And
That fried egg on top. Yeah, okay. Well, let's get at it then. What do you say? All right.
Chris, so I'm going to eat traditionally like in Malaysia by eating with my fingers, right? Which is
Yeah,
really
yep.
acceptable.
Yep.
So I'm going to get some rice.
Yep.
I'm going to scoop it with fingers, right?
Yeah, but then use your thumb like a shovel.
And use the thumb like a shovel.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. You did it right. Yeah.
How about that?
Cool.
I am a citizen of the world.
Yes, you are.
So this is okay. We're having lunch. Explain to what we're eating here again. This is a unique shrimp to this region, right?
Yeah. Mantis shrimp.
Okay.
Mantis shrimp.
And then we have clams, right?
Yep.
Clams, and we have some squid over here, and these are long beans with
Belacan.
belacan. And explain what that is, brother.
Belacan is a fermented shrimp.
paste.
Okay.
Yeah. So we use that in cooking various things. You can use that in chicken.
All
meat,
right.
You can use it in vegetables. And
Wonderful.
It's good stuff.
And
love
what
that.
is this here?
Oh, that's tofu. On the seasoning plate.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, let's dig in. Well, guys, here I am. I'm in the airport lounge on my way back to Seoul. It's Tuesday night. I got a flight in about an hour, so it was a whirlwind. And as you can see from the photo I sent, yes, I got injured again. Every time I travel. Anyway, it was so crazy. I barely spent any time in the hotel room except to sleep the entire time I was here. These guys had me running from pillar to post. As Bill could probably see from the tons of footage that I sent him. Anyway, so there's some really interesting artists here and things like that. We can talk about it in the upcoming live segment. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next trip where in the world Bob Layton comes from Tokyo, Japan, once again.
Welcome back, Bob.
I'm so glad I don't travel with any of these guys on the message board, okay? They're just so fucking rude, man.
But Marcus wants to know if you eat your soup the same way.
I didn't know I didn't have soup, okay? It's like hot there. I mean, we're on the equator. You know, eating hot soup is not like a big deal, right? You know, what I'm really sad is you guys, I know I sent you a ton of footage, Bill.
Did.
The trip to the rice paddy on my last day there was amazing because I had never seen rice fields before, or rice paddies. And what you don't know is like when it's fully grown like it was in the video, it smells sweet like cotton candy out there. I mean, it's like you go to a carnival, you know, that sweet smell of popcorn and cotton candy. That's what the rice fields
corn, yeah.
And what was really crazy, as far as the eye could see, all around was nothing but rice, right? For miles. But somebody had built a little hotel and coffee shop in the middle of that. You have to drive through the fields or whatever, and there's a place where you can spend the night there. You know, there's like glamping tents and all that kind of stuff. I wish you had been able to get that in there.
Well, in the extended version, I'll add that in. I did watch it all. I mean, it was fields and fields and fields of rice as far as the eye could see.
Hey, I got a cute girl in the shot, though. Okay, remember I did get a cute girl in the shot. You know,
you did, yes.
Yeah,
Emily, right? Or
yeah.
Was
No, that was just somebody else. Simone was supposed to go with me, right, on the trip, and we didn't use that segment. There's a segment where I talk about it. Her grandfather went into critical condition just before we left. And so Simone couldn't go with me. So the comedy part of our team was gone. So it was kind of sad. That's why I cut the trip short and came home early because
she does keep things moving when she has a drink or two. She's in the right zone.
Listen, I know her well enough. Being her foster dad, I know enough to know that she's far more entertaining than I am. But yeah, unfortunately, her grandfather, who's still hanging on. But she, it was also Chuseok, and her family said, if grandfather passes away, you should be here. And so she had to cancel, and she was in tears about it. So, and they all wanted to meet her because all the Singapore guys are friends with all the Malaysian guys, and they told her all about Simone. But there you go. But there's some really great art there, and they're relatively young in terms of the collector market and stuff. The collector guys that are there. It's a lot of it's cards and Magic the Gathering kind of stuff and things like that. But there's a lot of American comics there, and there's some up and coming artists or whatever. Did you have a chance? Did I send you the thing I did with Ruby Ling, the Iron print? Because they had me collaborate with him and Emily Yim to do an Iron Man. And this is Emily's coloring, which was just gorgeous, But Ruby wasn't really happy because I changed the Iron Man figure a bit. He drew him kind of short and stocky, and he didn't get the armor quite right, and for me, my first lesson you learn as an inker, if it's not right, you fix it, right? So I fixed it. And apparently he didn't like that.
He didn't like you. Yes,
Yes.
finishing his pencils. But wasn't the artwork in pencils on the table where you did the interview, or was that ink?
No, that was the inked version.
That
But
was
what
the
he
ink
did
version.
was he
Okay, I
sent
couldn't
me a
tell from the
scan.
image.
He sent me a scan of the pencil, blue line, and I printed that out and I inked that.
Well, what did he say to you? Did he actually say you made
'cause he
Iron
doesn't
Man
speak English, but
the
apparently
height of a
through
Western man or something? What didn't he like about it?
he doesn't speak English, okay?
Ah,
So through Alwyn, my friend in Singapore, right? Alwyn, who facilitated this, he told Alwyn that his feelings were hurt because I changed things. I didn't just ink it the way it was, you know.
Yeah.
And I go, well, tell him to draw better next time. No, I mean, it's like, look,
you're never going to make it to embassy diplomat, for the U.S. in any of those countries that you're traveling to.
But here's the thing, in all seriousness, homie don't play when it comes to that shit. I mean, Ruby is a really talented guy, but he has no mentorship there. Okay, so he's just learning as he goes, right? And
Yes.
the fact that he makes mistakes, but nobody's telling him he's making mistakes. And a lot of people, he's about the only artist there in Malaysia that's got any airplay at all on social media. They're blowing smoke up his ass all the time, right? Because he's.
You should have offered to mentor him if he'd come to Seoul for a few months.
Oh yeah, but the point of it is no. Listen, I've trained enough people in my life, and I I got Juyun and I got OG here that I'm training. I don't mince words with them on that. It's like there's a way to do things, and nobody's going to tell me how to do Iron Man, man. Okay, so let's face it. All right, I mean, it's like I got almost 50 years doing this guy. So yeah, so that's why I made the goof in there that he doesn't like me, but he does. And he's a really super talented.
He didn't know what you were saying, so you could have said anything, and he.
Yeah, I knew he didn't understand what I was saying. So I'm not an ambassador. No, when it comes to artwork, no, it's like there's an aesthetic, and we stick to it. But anyway, it came out great. Emily Yim's colors are amazing. So yeah, this is him fighting Fin Fam Foom in Kuala Lumpur at night, and that was
great.
That was the grand prize, for.
Did you have to make Fin Fang Foom a little taller too, or was he okay?
Well, I asked him to make him more angry because he looked happy in the drawing set, and I said, I don't want him fighting a happy dragon. It's like make him look a little more pissed. So I sent him some sketches of angry Fin Fang Foom, which he succeeded in doing, but apparently he hasn't had a lot of feedback in the past artistically, so. He it wasn't that he was angry. I think his feelings got hurt, but
artists are
I mean, you should hurt. I mean, look, I just trying to make him a better artist. I mean, I'm putting my name on it. It's like it's got to be done a certain way. So there you go, right?
You do that to John Byrne back in the day when you were inking his stuff.
Was that?
Did you do that to John Byrne? Did you give him a little?
No, John didn't need that much help. Although John hated my inking,
That's what I heard.
But that I think part of that was because when he got to Marvel, he thought after the CPL fanzine days he was going to be inked by Joe Sinnott and Tom Palmer and stuff. Instead, he gets me, which I don't think he was very happy about. Although I mean, the Hulk annual we did is still considered a classic. So so I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and Ruby, I think, is going to be a great cartoonist. No, I'm not. Don't compare me to Neil Adams, okay? Wow, Marcus, that's rude. Neil, I've been around.
Nobody was as tough as Neil.
No, I mean, look, all I did was I sent back suggestions on what I thought it should be, and he got his feelings hurt a little bit that I didn't absolutely love it. But again, I'm putting my name on it, right? And
I get it
again.
And look, all of your criticisms produce this wonderful artwork that everyone should be proud of if they worked on it.
The end result is just fine, but Yeah, I appropriated some of Emily's work while I was there too. I wanted to see this because one of the things I preach here, Bill, with
Yeah.
the guys I'm training, because they're all manga based, right? Is to take manga and kind of make it your own. You know, have an individual stamp. Just don't copy and just do the same manga faces everyone else is doing. So Emily did this print, and this is the epitome of taking manga and kind of making it your own. It's just beautiful, you know. And she's an amazing mother of two, you know, but still has time to do this. She's done some professional covers and stuff like that as well. So there are some really good artists there, but they're not the whole group. The American comics are really huge. They love Valiant there. In fact, the funny thing is, while I was there, Bloodshot, the movie, that crap movie, was number 6. It went from number 8 to number 6 on the streaming service, you know, in Malaysia. Apparently they love it, you know. And
yeah, I saw it once and that was enough.
Those guys, I was on the set and I was ready, you know, and I knew it was bad when we were shooting it. But they love it there, you know. It's like, and so there's so many Valiant fans in Malaysia. It's crazy because they got the books originally when we were publishing back in the 90s, right? Right. So that's why what's his face said, call him Valiant Boy. You know, because they were more interested in the Valiant stuff than the Iron Man stuff, really. But they have a strong comic book community, but it's all disjointed. I mean, they don't have any kind of collectives or clubs or anything like that. Collectives,
they're just getting started.
They're just really getting started.
We can mold them into art collectors and comic collectors.
But let me tell you, they're the most welcoming people. I mean, and you left out when I went to Zach's house. Zach, who's the owner,
I saw his house. Yeah,
Zach's house, 3-story mansion in the middle of the place. It was just, and the food spread for that, you guys would have died if you saw that.
You got to make sure they didn't just eat before you shake their hand, though, right?
Oh man, yeah. They stuffed me like a Christmas turkey the whole time I was there. And what's crazy is I'm on medication right now that kills my appetite. So I was always like struggling to not insult them, right? But I'd eat a little bit and get full. But Mark, it's true. Valiant got around. I always forget that, but because we didn't make it to Korea or Japan, but we definitely made it to the Southeast Asian countries, and so they're very big on Valiant, and they love the Bloodshot movie. You know, man.
At least the majority of people in one country does. So that's a positive.
Yeah, I found one place in the world that does. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I thought I was done talking about that damn thing, you know. But
well, hey, you did have a birthday party of sorts without us because you were traveling and doing your drinking draws.
Well, no, the birthday party was on the 25th of September, which happened to fall on the drink and draw. You know,
that's right. And so
my birthday just happened to fall on drinking. So we had the 3rd annual Iron Man cake contest.
We do. We can watch that right now because
you guys want to see some of the cakes out in the 101. And
the cakes are better this time around than the first.
Cakes are better. We had about 10 entries again. Where in the World is Bob Layton? Part 2.
Exactly, and there were prizes, artwork prizes.
Hi guys, I'm talking. Don't worry, guys. I'm not talking to you. All right. Hi guys, it's Bob Layton. We're here at my 3rd annual birthday contest, the cake contest, and I thought I'd send you a little quick video, show you like how many people showed up for this year.
It was a full house, bro. Huh? I mean,
Somebody said you were giving away Bob Layton our
broadcasting
pancake
to Belgium. Yes.
Yeah, we had a girl here from Belgium.
Me and Q's here. Say hi to the CF guys, right? Yeah. So everybody has shown up for tonight. So we're gonna do the cake thing in a little bit. I'll send you some video. I don't know if you can use it or not, but I figured, what the hey, since it's such a fun night. Might as well let the CF guys in on too. All right, so more later.
I got a funny
All right,
story.
Here we go. We got we have a cherry arc reactor. We have Iron Man jumping out of a cake. We have there's a teddy. I'm not sure what that is. A teddy bear. Yeah. There's Iron Man's in the desert standing alone. There's one with
They went all out on that one.
with "Love You" on there. Somebody loves me. There's an arc reactor. Look at this. Now, what's really fun is this is proof that Bob Layton has a heart, but Joey accidentally stuck his elbow in it. But we have pictures of it before it was destroyed, so I'll try to include that. Here, look at this, a fondant with my Iron Man 126 cover on it.
My thing is
Off your own Instagram.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, and you got a little diorama to go with it. And here the final entry is it's pretty cool with sprinkles. There's an Iron Man head or whatever. So there's all the entries from this year's Iron Man Bob Layton birthday cake contest. All right, we got a winner. All right, listen, guys.
We had them all vote.
Joey, we actually have 3
Everybody
winners,
had a
don't we?
vote on their favorite cake.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
didn't want 'em to
cast votes
hate.
too?
I didn't want them to hate me.
We have a tie. Yeah. So the tie is between number 1 and number 4. So who did number 1?
Mr. Fuller.
Mr. Fuller. And number 4.
The chocolate cake.
And let me tell I got a story about the chocolate cake. Okay?
Oh, singing, please. Come on up.
This is a little girl. She's 15 and she can draw like a son of a
I'm
bitch.
just gonna let you.
I'm going to start mentoring her
pick first.
in about another year, but she's really super talented.
So you get space armor. That one's better.
All right, hold them up, guys. Hold them up. So you say the
name is
second
Sue.
place. There you go.
She's just a tall.
Congratulations, everybody.
Look at
Thank you.
Her mother brings her.
All for
every week.
baking a cake. They
All
got
right.
free Bob Layton art.
All right. So, Joey, what's our grand prize here?
Winner of the grand prize with 14 votes is
That's half of you.
number 7. That's me.
No. You lie. He's not lying.
Surprise, number 7 got some votes. I just put it's from Costco. But. All right, is number 3 the arc reactor cake?
Oh. And who's that? Is that you? All right. Congratulations, brother. Now, Joey.
This
Joey,
guy
what's
came
wrong
over
with
from
our
Busan,
reactor
which
cake?
is like a 4-hour train ride with zombies.
Yeah, it's supposed to say proof that Joey
Cake came a
Croner-
long way.
But Joey Croner put his elbow in it, right?
It tipped in the box when I took it out.
Ah.
Because people were crowding me.
Okay, but we have other pictures. Anyway, congratulations. Congratulations.
He should get a picture with Bob with this.
Even my wife's
Absolutely.
nothing. See, I didn't ask Maureen to make a cake. I split it.
So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All the way to
Who's
Sun.
filming this? It's Joey, man. Film the crowd.
Happy birthday to
Wow. I've never had that many people sing happy birthday to me, Bob.
There was I
about
think
the
about
candles?
50, 60 people there all together. Some came and went during the night of
One more thing before we all go crazy on this, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Jedi Master Sheehan basically started this whole cake contest 3 years ago.
This is my friend who
we
died
miss
last
him,
year.
And every year when this happens, we think so. Anyway, wherever you are, this is for you too. All right?
Yeah, Sheehan died last year, but he's the one that started the whole contest kind of thing with the bobblehead Bob Layton doll, that lit up. He was the winner the first year, but yeah, he died last September, and so I just always wanted to do something to dedicate him. Now here's the irony of it all. Not only did Joey put his elbow in the winner, right, but the arc reactor. I have a picture of it where it's complete before he did that, but it was really cool. But my friend Dave Fuller made the big chocolate cake who won second place. He made that specifically for me because, I love chocolate and Koreans don't eat chocolate cake that much, right? They like white cake for the most part. So the celebration went on, and everybody brought me presents and stuff. And by the time I got up to go get the cake, they had eaten all of them. I didn't get a single bite of cake. They ate all 9 cakes. That crowd, and so I didn't even get a taste of my own birthday cake.
Well, if you can't get free Bob Layton art, you might as well get free Bob Layton cake, right?
I guess so. But yeah, it's been a really popular event here every year. This is the 3rd one we've done, and it's like it's good for business. I mean, Joey's my buddy. What good is having friends unless they can exploit you for money, right?
Exactly. Hey, before we end this, because I've got my next guest in the green room, I wanted to I think you had like 4 other images that I didn't show that you sent to me. So I figured we might as well show those off and remind people they can go to Joey's calf gallery and pick up any artworks that he's posted there.
Well, not this one. This is actually a cover I did for David Vonner, who has a company called Odd Frog Productions, and they're doing a comic called Odd Frog. But I worked with him in Hasbro. He was the head of development at Hasbro for years. And I worked with him doing box art and stuff like that when they reissued the Secret Wars toys. So he asked me if I would do a cover for his indie comic, and like I've known the guy since the Valiant days, So I did this. I have no idea who Odd Frog is. They just sent me a model sheet, and there you go. I did that before I left.
Are these some of the color pieces? This one that you did for Drink and Draw, or did Spencer ask you to do this one?
No, it was for Drink and Draw. It wasn't really for Drink and Draw. I just did it as a backup because I had to give away. I had to give away the other Iron Man piece because we had a tie, right? So I took one of the Iron Man pieces out of the book to give to Su Ying, So I did something to replace it. So that I did this War Machine one to replace it.
Okay, yeah, it's got the
I sold it in Malaysia. I actually made another $2,000 there for the charity fund when I was in Malaysia. So that was really nice. But yeah, somebody in Malaysia bought that.
Awesome. And you do Rom proud, but
I do a mean ass Rom, don't I, baby?
You do.
I love Rom. I love metallic characters, but he was always just fun to do. So that was another piece I did for the Malaysian show. I just wanted to take a few things down there. They're not big art collectors yet, and again, their economy is not like Singapore. So there's not a lot of a huge art market there yet. But I was still able to sell some pieces and make some good money for the charity.
Good.
We're getting ready to start do a payout. Cleo is going down to the south of Korea to help flood victims. We're going to give money to the flood victims from earlier this year. This was the winner. This was the winner of the cake contest. Bob Layton has a heart thing. So this was a full 11x17 color of Iron Man.
If anybody sees this up on eBay, they need to send that guy a cease and desist, right?
Iron Man pals and gals, And I'm sorry, Ruby, but that's the way you draw Iron Man.
You should have sent, you should have scanned it and sent it over to him. Said, "Hey, Ruby."
No, listen, Ruby, it's fine. Like I said, he wasn't angry as much as his feelings were hurt, but I think he just doesn't get a lot of criticism. But I've been training guys for decades. It's like, Dick always said, if it's not right in the pencils, you got to make it right in the inks. If you don't make it right in the inks, it's your fault. Because so
was Giordano as tough as Neil Adams?
No, Dickie was a sweetheart.
That's what he always said.
It was almost like Bizarro Neil Adams. It's like you hit Neil with a ray and you create the Giordano, right?
Yeah.
The sweetest, kindest man who could criticize you to death, and you thank him for it.
Well, they were probably good, together, right? One
exactly. They balance each other out
in the studio.
Yeah, exactly. So they were fun. When I was working up at Continuity, there were two, studios. There was the Neil Adams acolytes, and then there was the Dick Giordano assistants. But
sure,
Dickie was far more benign teacher than Neil.
Yeah,
I know
he probably had a way of bringing up your spirits after Neil, like knocked you down a few notches. And you'd see you in the corner, and he'd come over and pat you on the back and tell, "You'll get him tomorrow, kid."
Well, like you said, Dickie was always a much more benign teacher. It's like and like I said, he was a father figure to a lot of us too. So
Yeah.
it was really terrific. So that was Malaysia pretty much in a nutshell, and the birthday party, which was a huge success. Listen, thank you for giving me the opportunity here, Bill.
No, Bob, we always look forward. I put you on the calendar so that people know when you're going to be in the next CAF update.
Well,
so
second week of December, put me on the calendar for WTF.
You're going to be in Tokyo again? Okay. Well, we can't wait that long. We'll do something around, maybe around Thanksgiving, the week around there. How's that?
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be great, man.
At least we can recap a few drinking draws or something.
Well, if nothing else, you get Joey on here, to talk about because he's got a few things going on too with his comic publishing and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we can take care of it.
I'll shoot some dates to you and Joey, and we'll figure out which one it is. But yeah, 3 or 4 weeks sounds good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for the opportunity. Hey guys, I'll join you on the chat in a few minutes. All right.
All right,
Bill.
Have a great day, Bob. See ya.
Right. Bye, guys.
All right. Always good to have Bob back on the show, even when he's injuring himself. He told me how he got that injury too. The poor man pushing the drink cart down the aisle while he was sleeping on the plane clocked him. And I did ask. It's the same foot as the one he lost the toenail on not 6 weeks ago. So all right, moving right along. We've got a friend of the channel, friend of the site, Joe Manarino, in and raring to go. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Do you not go to New York Comic Con?
I normally do. I went to the reception at the Heritage offices last night, but you take priority over everything. So
I like to hear that. Sorry, I didn't get dressed up tonight. I was I have no AC here in the office today, and so it's still in the mid 70s here in Florida. So yeah,
and we're going to have we got our first frost warning, so it's going to go down to 32 tonight.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's but who all was at the Heritage reception last night?
Oh, it was a big success. I spoke to the director of the office, and he said it was the biggest crowd we've ever had at an exhibit or a reception.
Wow.
So everybody, I saw Kazra, he was there. I saw Dan, I saw Dino, I saw
the guest list. I didn't know if everybody that Dan put on that list was going, but that was a who's who of not just the New York area collectors, but there was a fair number of people.
No, people came in we had artists, we had Jim Halpern was there, Steve Ivey, the other co-owner of Heritage, was there, Christian Bierenbach was there, he's another partner, Tom Fish was there, I just could go on and on.
Well, that's a good group. Yeah,
Albert was there.
If I liked New York Comic Con more, I would have been there too.
I asked where you were, and I got this story about chickens, and
that's not there. I'd leave the chickens in a heartbeat. I just New York, doing both San Diego and New York is in the same year has always been a thing I try to avoid. And if I had to pick one or the other, I like San Diego a little bit more than New York. I don't know why. It's just a preference. But I have I've been getting guilted into coming up for a Comic Art Con. So I might try to do that. I know a lot of folks who I wouldn't mind seeing at a small show. So that might be fun. But I regret missing that. It sounds like it would have been a lot of fun. But you do have the Collector Summit, which you might not be going to, I guess, in November, or maybe you are.
No, I don't. No, the one at Heritage,
in Dallas.
No, probably not. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I never know.
Yeah. Well, they're it sounds like fun. They give you a whole tour of the Dallas facilities, which I've never been to.
Which I have.
I'm sure you have been many times. You probably been there for many auctions, but then getting to see some of Jim's collection too will be fun.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
for me, that's almost like worth going because
Yeah.
it's more of a comic kind of summit than it is an art summit. But hey,
You know, it was also cool yesterday. We also had the Walking Dead exhibit with all of the show props and costumes and everything else there. So that was cool as well.
I heard that's going to be pretty big. I saw, number one Marvel fan in the chat is a pretty big prop collector, and I've seen him mention it on Facebook a few times. And when I was on Heritage earlier today, the website, there was, I ran through just kind of the preview of the auction items. So yeah, it looks like a pretty substantial film prop and memorabilia auction for you guys.
Yeah, no, well, look, the Game of Thrones was a huge success. The Last Entertainment Sale, the sled, I mean, collectibles are really, really hot right now.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think of the results on the Guillermo del Toro auction? How did that?
To me, I don't know the props, and a lot of those were very specific to his films and to Guillermo, but obviously the art did extremely well. I mean, he has, incredible taste, and I mean, you could see the passion that he has for each piece, and so we were pleased with it, and I think he's going to do more. I mean, I have mixed feelings because I like him. I've known him for years, and even back at All Star and before, and he doesn't want to sell things, but he has too much stuff, and if you're going to live in LA, you got to be a little bit practical.
That's very true. I know that was just a fraction of the stuff he owns. That's what, just from talking to Madalena about it. But yeah, but still, I thought the prices were good. And number one Marvel fan says that some of the prices started high, but that was kind of like the reserve. They were starting to where they were okay, I'm sure, with letting them go. And
exactly.
I mean, Frankenstein still sold for $250,000, which, I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if it sold for more, or whatnot. Right at the end of the day, it was an incredible piece. So,
in honor, I put a Wrightson up behind me. I think, yeah.
Wait, I gotta hear him. Got to go full screen. Which is that?
That's with the monster and Dr. Frankenstein rearing up in the rain.
Very nice.
That shoulder right there.
One of these days, we're going to get a tour of your place.
Yeah, and in honor of Keith, I put up the cover of Action Comics #9 over there.
Oh, dang. You got some great art on both shoulders, Joe. and I'll tell you, your voice is perfect tonight. I know we didn't get to test anything in the agreement, but you got the setup now. We've got it all perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
You need to get on some more shows, though. I think maybe now that you've got you got the mic and the webcam, all that stuff working for you, you got to find a way to utilize it more. Heritage does a little show of their own, don't they? That kind of previews some of the.
Sometimes they do. They'll do it for specific items. They'll do it for specific sales, but that's all handled out of Dallas in general, and probably better there where the auction is live or they have the material in front of them.
They have the items in hand and everything. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we? That Keith Fromm.
Yeah.
We passed away early in summer, or was it spring? I can't even remember now. It was a little bit ago, but Keith was in the hobby long before I came along. So I got to meet him probably at New York Comic Cons more than anything, because I don't remember seeing him go out to like the West Coast shows or whatnot. But for those who who didn't know him, I mean, he probably wasn't the most. You always always buying kind of stuff. The stuff that we see that is in the auction are pieces that we've known he's had for a while. He was a collector who really loved the golden age of the hobby. He also loved kind of like the marquee artists like Frazetta, McFarlane, you name it. I mean, he had expensive tastes and rare tastes, like with some of the pieces that we're going to see today. But yeah.
The best description I heard of Keith was, he was a old soul and a young man. You know, I mean, he really liked the history of the hobby. He was, I think, more interested in speaking to some of the legendary artists of the past than dealing, you know, with the most modern of artists. And he appreciated the past. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like both, but obviously it's. You know, it depends on when you got into the hobby, and a lot of it depends on your personal taste as to where you want to end. You know, I've always said I never met a collector who finished his collection. You know, a collector is a collector. They normally, if they finish this, they go on to that. If they finish that, they go on to that. I started out collecting Marvel comics, you know. I had my own set when I was a kid. Then I wanted to upgrade them. I went from that to then finding out that there were Golden Age comics. I started collecting Golden Age comics. Then I found out that there was original art to the comics available. Next thing you know, you shift over to original art. Then licensed products, posters, strip art that was the basis of comics. And next thing you know, you're down the rabbit path. And it's always enjoyable because there's always something else to get. You know,
no, that's very true. So yeah, so I didn't know him well, but you know, clearly I always knew about his collection, and so you know, but it's good that the opportunity presented itself to be able to see the pieces at San Diego. I know that some of those pieces were there, so I got to see some in person. Prior to that, I don't think I'd ever seen any of his collection in hand. I think everything I'd ever seen was either posted to CAF or scans here or there. But yeah, it was pretty cool to get to see some of those pieces, because again, they're older pieces, stuff that you don't see too often getting shared on CAF, because you know, typically I think collectors from those eras are a little bit more private, you know, in general, that and they don't share those kind of things publicly.
Plus, there aren't very many of them. Hey, Jimmy's on the chat. That's one of the nicest guys in the hobby.
Oh, we know it.
He's like gold. Jimmy
Hey,
Palmiotti is the best.
So Jimmy says some of the art that he sold him is in the auction.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I'm not previewing that, because we're limiting it to 20, I guess, and trying to keep it to an hour. But, you know.
Well, why don't we dive in and look at some of the stuff that the pieces that you did pick, because a lot of them are, well, they're probably all, you know, all the big notable pieces from the auction. And starting off with the McFarlane, that I think, you know, clearly there's a lot of interest in it already, being over $500,000. And I even remember when it popped up before the auction even started, there was, you know, some questions in the CAF halls about what, you know, where this would wind up. And I mean, honestly, I had no idea, because a piece like this just doesn't, it doesn't come on the market too often. But you know, it's going to be desirable. And clearly, you know, I didn't know where it would go, but it's got a very good start here, even with a, what is it? I mean, it says there time left 7 days. When exactly does this lot close? Is it the next?
It's October 17th. Which is a Friday. At 10:50 a.m. it begins, which is 11 o'clock Central Time. So yeah, and it's a dedicated sale, so you know, it's only for that.
There you go. Look at this. Keith trusted Jimmy so much that he would bring dealer's art to him to make sure he was getting a good deal.
Oh wow!
Hey, you know what? I'd love it. I would have loved to have been there when Jimmy said, "It's overpriced." Walk away from it. Dealer there. I don't want to film.
My experience with Keith is that the opposite never really happened. If you ever asked, you know, Keith was pretty, yeah, he was a very, very determined collector. So if he set his eyes on something, his sights, he was relentless. I mean, and I mean relentless. You would get dozens and dozens of inquiries about something. And then when he went to sell, it was like the opposite side of the room. You know. So anyway.
But yeah, again, this is a very memorable piece for a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, you know, McFarlane has said himself, this, you know, McFarlane was influenced by Marshall Rogers. He loved the way Rogers did Batman. He loved the way he used the cape and made it almost seem alive to some degree. And then McFarlane, as he did in Spider-Man, took that to the next level, and you see it here. I mean, the cape is almost like a living thing, and obviously then that became part of what he did with Spawn. So this was his first time doing Batman, and unfortunately his last time. So from that point of view, it's a definitive cover, and as they say in the stock market, there's a huge tailwind. I mean, look how hot McFarlane has been the last couple of auctions, and I think that's also going to just bring this cover along with it. What else can I say? It's once again, it's a definitive image. It's iconic by a iconic artist of the period, doing a iconic character. So, it's kind of got it all.
Yeah.
Keith was a couple of things. I mean, he was a Batman fan of all generations, and he was a Golden Age fan. He loved Lou Fine. He loved Mac Raboy. He loved Fawcett. We'll get into all of that. But, this was the book, I think, if you read his own comments about it, he kind of had gotten out of comics, and then this book came out and he read it, and this brought him back into comics. So that's why he went so determinedly after it. Yeah, and it's already,
$500,000. And I think there's an interior from the book as well in the auction.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
So here we go. You got a Frazetta Ghost Rider 5 cover.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
So this, many people feel this is the best of the Frazetta Ghost Riders because it's the only one that has a babe in it, for lack of a better word. And if you really look, zoom in on her, you'll see this is 1949. This is very early. This is Frazetta going to work for Vin Sullivan. And for those that don't know, Vin Sullivan was the first editor of Superman, started at DC Comics, legendary in the field, did the cover art of Detective Comics 1, and then eventually left DC and started his own company called Magazine Enterprises, that's ME. And he got Frank Frazetta and several other artists to work on it. So these were very young, they were kids at the time. So this is 1949. To put it in perspective, like the Famous Funnies covers are 53. But you look at the feathering technique and the inking, it's still unbelievable at that point in his career.
Yeah, no, I mean this is a beautiful cover, and at 120,000, we know the Frazetta market is going kind of crazy these days, and we've been seeing a lot of.
That's another market with
right, and we've been seeing a lot of the painted stuff, or illustration stuff, maybe things that weren't necessarily, done for comics, whether it was portfolio work and that sort of thing. So I think this is a cool piece to see. I mean, a few strips have been on the market of late, but I'll be curious to see where this one goes. And again, I don't know how long Keith's had it, but clearly a lot of this stuff that has been in his collection was there for quite some time, and all of that, as we know, when pieces are off the market for a while, it makes them be quite desirable, right? So a Lou Fine Hit Comics cover here, issue 5.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's not just a Lou Fine Hit Comics cover. Many feel this is like his best cover. And this is one of those really, the comic book, just because of the cover, sells for an absolute premium. People really don't care about the interiors as much. Lou Fine, arguably, one of the 5 most influential Golden Age artists, Eisner, Fine, Kirby, Crandall, Wood, and he was imitated and influenced just generations of artists. His art was very, I mean, you could see the lyrical nature of it, the beautiful design. Everything he did at that point was just beautiful. And you look at this, and again, from a pure graphic design point of view, you put this up on the wall, it's stunning.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's beautiful. I love seeing, again, this is from 1940. So just having,
1940,
an 85-year-old original.
And people have to remember, I mean, this Quality Comics, there's a famous story of, after art was published, it was returned back to Busy Arnold, who was the publisher, and he would sit in the front cutting up the artwork. He was afraid of the copyright. And,
wow.
Yep, that's right. I mean, it was Eisner that hired Lou Fine. Joe Simon and Eisner were the guys that found Fine. And of course, Eisner thought so much of him that he was, assisting him on the Spirit and, many other things. So, it's amazing that it survived.
Yeah. And, but ended up in the right guy's collection. And then Alex Ross, a Marvel's #1 DPS. I mean,
again, to understand Keith, I mean, he was not a Marvel's guy. He was not a Marvel Comics guy in general. He was a DC guy, but he loved the old heroes of both companies. So, this is appealing to him because this is really the golden age characters, descending down on the Nazi stronghold here. You got a bird's eye view. Captain America, Bucky, Submariner, the Vision, the Destroyer, the Black Widow, Thunderer, Blazing Skull, Black Marvel, Human Torch, Toro. I mean, as a double page splash, it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, when you see the imagery, you can see why it would appeal to him. It's right up his alley, right era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's nice. So, I think people like Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Submariner a little bit more, but yeah, no, this is a great image.
Mm-hmm. Dynamite Comics, is that the Harry Chesler title that you're referring to? This guy would have bought a lot of Dynamite Comics. Yeah. Chesler was a guy who had all of these guys working for him. It's amazing.
Yeah, and #1 Marvel fan says The Invaders. Yeah, exactly. It's at the right era.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, clearly he liked good art, and it didn't matter if he had to cross DC party lines to pick up a Marvel piece. It's still it still spoke to him, and he appreciated it.
Yeah.
So here back over at DC though, these kind of covers or images are always fun, right? You get all, not only do you have the 3 characters who are on the cover, but then you get all the mug shots on top of all of that, as well.
Yeah.
And
this layout has been copied a million times in different ways. So, what I like about this is that, Roy Thomas, who's a great guy, leaves Marvel, goes to DC, and, the legendary story about Roy Thomas and Jerry Bales. I mean, these guys were fanatical Justice Society of America fans in the golden age. And when DC discontinued all of those characters, they were devastated. So they were the guys writing in and getting people to write from all over. They were sending mail under different names and to make it seem like there was this big, wave of enthusiasm.
Right.
Bring back
the superheroes. Right?
Yeah, bring back the superheroes. And eventually, Julie Schwartz did, and he we'll have a flash cover later, and we'll talk about it. But obviously, his passion and his I'm talking about Roy Thomas, was always with those characters. So when he goes back to DC, what is he asked to do? Basically, another version of the Justice Society, and it's renamed All-Star Squadron, but it's really they're going to get back together a new Justice Society. And so these are the three main members, and then they're looking down at images to try and decide, okay, now we're going to decide who the new members are going to be and who's it going to be. So classic cover.
Oh yeah.
Very
How often?
well
I mean, the Avengers did this all the time, right? I mean, every
Yeah,
10 or 12 issues, they had to have a pull them up on the computer screen. We see all the mugshots of who we might want to bring in, and oh yeah, and then the government would step in and reorganize things when they weren't.
Exactly. But here you got Dr. Midnight, Hawkman, the Atom, but the Golden Age versions, so it's really cool. So, again, 1981, and yet it's already 31. Last time I looked, it was over 30,000. So it's a lot of interest.
33 right now.
Now I didn't feature the other ones, but he has, I think, at least one or two more All-Star Squadron covers, and he has if you look a couple more to the right, he has a promo piece by nope, keep going. That's the one. That's a promo piece that was done prior to this even being published. So it was like an ad piece, So cool. He obviously got to Rich Buckler and was able to get some of this prime material.
Now, this isn't the only Macro Boy piece in the auction. There's a few other ones. This is a really nice one, though. Of course, Master Comics cover from 1942.
This is a legendary cover. Captain Marvel Jr. was drawn by Raboy, who is very different than a lot of the Golden Age artists. He was very influenced by Raymond and other things. He was very illustrative in his style. You could see the beautiful work on the woman, on the inking on Captain Marvel Jr., the design, the whole bit. And the comic book goes for a ton of money. It's a very famous book. So to have the original art, and I remember this came out when in Tomorrow's, I believe it was Alter Ego, Swayze, who was the one of the artists that worked at Fawcett back in the day, did an article about Macro Boy and about his time and pictured this cover, and everybody went crazy. He said, wait a minute, is that really the original art? And next thing you know, everybody was trying to find him. And I don't know if Keith actually got it directly from him or got somebody else to get it from him, but he was relentless in trying to track it down. And that's where this cover came from. So, for those that don't know, Captain Marvel Jr.'s real name is Freddie Freeman. So if you're watching, the baseball, and it's the same kind of name, and that's Captain Nazi, I believe, in the background, which is a stat with fighting Bullet Man, and his origin was that when Captain Marvel was fighting Captain Nazi, and he's falling from the sky, his alter ego sees him, and they go and thinking this is a fallen good guy. Next thing you know, that guy attacks him and cripples him. So, and it goes from there, and he Captain Marvel brings him to Shazam, the wizard, and he gets turned into Captain Marvel Jr. But I mean, do a close up on the artwork. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's totally gorgeous.
Yeah. So you have everything. You have the first appearance on the cover, beautiful, iconic cover. It's not just a cameo or something, and beautifully rendered. Mm-hmm. I mean, what more could you want? Unfortunately, in my opinion, this should be the most expensive item in the sale. There are others that feel the McRoboy V for Victory cover should be the most expensive, but it's the McFarlane, I think, is going to do more than this. So we'll see.
Well, it's there aren't as many collectors from this era out there, as there are from the late 80s and 90s, unfortunately, and that's. But but what are you going to do? I mean, at the end of the day, these covers certainly weren't selling for these prices 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So there's a level of desirability in these for sure. I mean, like with this image too. But I thought was when you said about the last piece, like when it came to market, how Keith, I'm sure there were many collectors who were trying to figure out how to get in there, and that's one of the interesting things about our hobby is that the fervor that surrounds when there's that first knowledge of something coming up on the market or a collection that's potentially going up for sale or those sorts of things. The activity that happens behind the scenes is, books could be written about.
It is, nothing less than frenzy.
Exactly, even to this day, but even back then, that's was really what I was trying to get at is, it's always been that way. So for collectors who think that this is just a something that's only been going on for the last few years, no, there might have been fewer people after them at that 20, 30 years ago, but the same thing happened back then that happens today when noteworthy pieces come to market.
Now I will say this, okay, and I'll say this, I've said it before, but back before the major auction houses, before Christie's, before Sotheby's, before Heritage, because knowledge was so important as to who, what, where, and the circle, almost everything was in the hands of very few people. And most people did not have the opportunity to even go near something great. It was in very limited hands. It was only after the auction houses came up and started getting the prices that things started to emerge. I went through the first 5 Sotheby's and Christie's catalogs because I remember these things being offered back then. I was interested to see how they looked before and after, and when they came out. Believe it or not, I do research before I do one of these shows. So just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But the reality is that, you go back and you look, I can't tell you how many great items passed back then for nothing. I mean, the complete book of Spider-Man 31 passed at $20,000. The complete book of Spider-Man 21 passed. Right. I mean, that's Silver Age stuff. The Golden Age stuff that passed was incredible and great. Just a hand. That's what everybody was after. What sold for the most money in many of those catalogs? Strip art. A Little Nemo, a Raymond.
That was the era, though, right? I mean, back
absolutely.
in the early 70s. I mean, I've read lots of stories about the art buying from back then, and it was. If it wasn't strip art, it was Conan, and it wasn't the spandex heroes that were popular, and it really was. You started seeing noteworthy sales there, but maybe around the mid 80s, but early on, it was all strip art, vintage stuff.
And let's not forget, before '84, there was no Marvel art on the market. I mean, until stuff started turning up on the market, there was nothing to buy. So, and artists did not get their stuff back, certainly not the Silver Age artists. So it's completely different, and that's why, look, I appreciate if it wasn't that we got so many more collectors into the hobby, it wouldn't be possible to have anywhere close to the prices we get now, because there's just so much more material on the market. But it also, a market can be strangled. If these are the 3 best Raboy covers, I don't even know how many other ones are there. I don't remember any. So if you wanted to collect a Raboy cover, where were you going to get one? Yeah, there weren't any. So you moved on to something else.
I'm going to search my market data just to see, like, publicly what's out there boy wise, but I understand. I mean, that's like you said, we've talked about it before. This hobby of collecting original art is still relatively young, and the people who were buying it around the time that Keith got started, it was a small number, right? At the end of the day, but
relatively small. But there wasn't that much as people think. Oh, everything was there to be bought. No, it wasn't. You couldn't get it out of people's hands. So things that were rare are rare. Some things turned up that we didn't know existed, but there's not much Raboy material out there. There's not much Lou Fine material out there. There's not much of a lot of the things you're going to see here out there. So it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, you would get a Raboy Flash Gordon. It's going to be interesting. There was a lot of excitement. People were looking at stuff last night and oohing and eyeing. I spoke to many collectors yesterday, and I had a lot of fun. But I was very surprised at the what seemed to be actual genuine interest in everything from a lot of the more contemporary collectors. But
right,
let's go on. You're gonna get me in trouble again.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long night. But the funny thing is literally the most expensive publicly sold Mac Raboy piece was some Flash Gordon strip art for $5,300.
Yeah,
that's the highest, and that's between dealers and auction houses. Since we've been tracking stuff for 20 years. So just to see these Raboys on the market, knowing that they're all three, the ones we're looking at, they're all going to set a record no matter what.
Yeah.
For being the highest priced Raboys that are out there, is telling. There aren't many Raboy pieces on even on CAF right now. So it's just in collector's hands. So it's pretty rare.
Absolutely. Wait, you went past the V for Victory. That's an iconic cover.
There we go. I'm sorry. I'm clicking.
I mean,
there we are.
This is one of the most iconic covers of the golden age of the whole war era. V for Victory. Yeah, if you go through all the Master Comics and Captain Marvel Jr. covers, the three best covers in the whole run, and those are the three that exist. It's incredible because the other artists so appreciated what they saw that they asked for those pieces. Underneath on the previous item with the first Captain Marvel Jr. is a stat, and underneath the stat it says, "To Mark, my friend, enjoy Mac Raboy." So he specifically asked for that cover. This cover, as I recall, was. Well, I don't want to go into the story behind every cover, but I know most of the background of this. But Jerry DeFuccio, who is an assistant editor at Mad Magazine, loved tracking down artists, and he found Costanza and CC Beck, and one of them had this cover. So that's where this cover came from. These were all very treasured pieces by the professionals because they loved what these guys were doing and recognized it. Maybe some of the if you're involved in comics at all, you should know, does that outfit look a little familiar? Elvis Presley loved Captain Marvel Jr.
I'm sure he did.
His hairdo, he used the same hairdo, grew his hair long, dyed it jet black.
I just thought that was accidental,
the jumpsuit and that lightning bolt. He incorporated into a necklace with a TCB, taking care of business, that he gave to all of the guys that worked for him for the Memphis Mafia. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about a guy that really was enthralled with Captain Marvel Jr.
Amazing. Yeah, and Marcus is right. There's only 98 collected pieces by Raboy on CAF, not even 100. and that's with 23 years of.
And that's
That's out there.
probably the vast majority are the Flash Gordons, which
Oh, yeah.
most of those came out over the years.
Yep. But yeah, this one's got a lot of room to go. I'll be curious to see where. I mean, it's such a iconic image, but by itself, that I mean, I'll be watching this one.
Yeah.
All right, now the Flash cover.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about Flash covers probably before, but I don't remember any coming up recently. The historical significance of this is, as I said, in 1949, people don't realize almost all the companies discontinued superheroes. This is even before the Senate subcommittee hearing things. They switched over. Superheroes have kind of a cyclical nature to them, and they switched over to crime and horror and westerns and all other sorts
Love
of things.
and
Yeah, oh yeah,
anything but.
and anything but. And DC only saved 3 characters because they had licensed products out on them: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and discontinued everything else. So, and that's why a lot of the pages that exist, that you see these partial pages, DC just put all of those unused pages into storage, and then at one point in 1974 decided to destroy them. They were worried that there was going to be a copyright infringement. So guys like Marv Wolfman and several other people that worked at DC's, were told, they were interns, destroy that art, and they cut between the panels and then took home the little pieces. And that's how some of the Golden Age art survived. Cover like this survived because if you wrote in after the Flash was relaunched in 1956 by Julie Schwartz, Infantino, if somebody wrote into the comics and they published your letter, they would send you an original piece of art, either the cover or sometimes an entire story. And that's how those things existed. Infantino only had one piece of oversized art ever returned to him. So Murphy Anderson was smart. He asked for everything back, and none of his stuff was sent to fans.
Mm-hmm.
But so here's the Flash as reintroduced, and launches the Silver Age of comics. And this is all prior to, Marvel, of course, which began, in 61. But of course, this is Flash 135, 1963, but there just aren't that many Flash covers on the market.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
What is it at? 12? Yeah. Then this is from Batman 13.
Yeah, very early page.
42.
I used to own this page.
You did?
Yeah, Halpern comes over and says, Joe, I used to own this page, didn't I? I said, yes. I said, we auctioned that page. And he says, I bought it from you. And then he said, somehow, I don't remember, somebody made me a really good offer or something, or I needed it, or somebody convinced me to put it in one of our sales. But he says, I love that page. I said, I love that page. I didn't want to give it up. That's one thing I didn't like about doing my own auctions. I sometimes would seed the auctions with stuff from my own collection to fill gaps,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bob Kane, if you can look at the margin of this page, you'll see that it says there are directions from Bob Kane saying, Jerry, spend extra time on the anatomy. Jerry, please look at the detail. Yeah. Yeah. Can you see that? Watch the
expressions.
The expressions on this, and then go to the bottom of the page, all the way to the bottom, and you'll see further instructions.
Take your time with Batman and Robin. Yeah, watch the anatomy.
And plus, they're in every panel. So, and one of the ways you could tell, that I feel you could tell Bob Kane, he's a little bit more stiffer. He definitely did the layouts on this page, but he also loved, if you go to the top panel, he loved doing that background shadow behind Bob Kane, behind Batman, to add depth. Always there was a shadow on the back wall, and it kind of added to the ambiance, and at the same time added depth. And you could tell. And also the way he did that cape in the second panel, that's very Bob Kane. So, you know, he did the layout. Jerry did the finished pencils. Russos did the inks and some of the backgrounds. So, back in the day, and I know where this page came from. This came from George Russos, and George Russos was approached by a prominent collector, and then Joe Desris was the guy that got a lot of the early pages, and he got pages from number 9, number 13, number 14. But to me, this was, if not the best page, one of the best panel pages of the whole thing. So this did not come from Jerry Robinson's collection.
Interesting. But it's got good provenance then, because of Mr. Halpern having owned it as well.
Well, I mean, if you're a collector, you learn to overlook that,
He's not watching tonight. But no, of course, it's a great
he
page.
said he'll watch. He said, "Oh, Joe, you're not going to get as many live, but everybody's going to watch the next day. So I want to make sure you do. Don't worry, Joe. I'm not worried, Joe."
I was emailing with somebody from Heritage earlier, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to watch the show tonight." Like, all right, cool. But it wasn't Halpern. So no, but this is a great piece, and clearly, again, it managed to wind up back in Keep's collection. There it is.
And I hate to say, somebody, again, I take some things for granted, but somebody just pointed out Russos, aka George Bell. Russos did a lot of the key in his spare time, working, moonlighting from DC and strip art. When Stan Lee needed a job inked overnight or over a weekend, he contacted Russos, and he would ink it. That's why some of those interiors look so wonky, because he had to do it, an entire book in 2 days. And, there's a lot of Fantastic Four books like that, things like that. Anyway, here's another. This is again, we're not here to create a course on, comic books, but Jack Cole, another revered Golden Age artist. People absolutely loved Plastic Man, and they loved how Plastic Man was the humor, the expressions, the way it was drawn, and it was all by Jack Cole. And as far as we know, there is no Jack Cole superhero art known to exist. He died at an early age. And before going to work, does Joe think how the market will be? How does Joe think the market? I think this is going to be great. I think that people are going to keep going backwards. People don't just start and end their collections, as I said earlier. So to me, it's going to keep, going
right. I mean,
on.
Look at the Crazy Cat George Harriman market, or Little Nemo, like you mentioned. Good art.
Little Nemo, 1905. Yeah.
Right. I mean, none of us were around looking at that, but we still want it. So I don't see it changing, but I have to believe you guys feel the same way too.
Here's the thing that scares me a little bit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go into it. A very prominent person bought a very prominent piece in our hobby not long ago. And when asked why did he all of a sudden decide to get into comic art when having no experience in it whatsoever, pointed out that the contemporary art market and the modern art market has been so depressed and is so cyclical and so unpredictable that people who were in that market are starting to look for alternative art.
Well, that's good and bad news. But I mean, when you
This is what I mean. This is what I'm
when you say
saying.
modern
And
art, are you talking? They were referring to anything after the mid '80s or whatever. What are they talking like literally current things made within the
I
last?
think, from Hearst and up, or whatever you want to
Right.
call it, I mean, look, what was Warhol? Pop art. This is falling into, people are categorizing this as pop art. Look at the guy who bought the most expensive baseball card ever, just sold for 13 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wonderful went on TV and said, yeah, this is I'm looking for alternative places
To put their money into. Well, fine art always had that kind of that's I don't know. It's not a stigma. That's why people put money in it, because if they bought a Picasso for $10 million, they weren't going to sell it for less than 10.5.
Yeah.
So and that was how things kind of rolled. And it's I mean, hopefully it doesn't get to that level here, but again, but if it does, it's going to only it's going to be the choice pieces. It's not going to be the pieces that your everyman art collector is going after. It's going to be those ones that are the marquee pieces, like the McFarlane Batman cover here, like a Frazetta, like a again, a prominent Marvel or DC cover from the 60s or 70s. But the average stuff, the things that don't rise to that.
And why wouldn't it be the one of a kind Golden Age covers that you're looking at right now?
Oh, without question. Yeah, no,
I why wouldn't it be an iconic Action Comics cover like we had in the last sale? That's the kind of thing that you wonder. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm just repeating what I've heard. I really don't want it to all go there, because I enjoy where we are, and
we're happy.
A nice steady rise is a very healthy market, but that's enough.
Exactly.
So anyway, Jack Cole, beloved by fans for years. Obviously, plastic. Everybody talks. Oh, Stan Lee created the Fantastic Four. I mean, Mr. Fantastic was a ripoff of Plastic Man. The Invisible Girl was the Invisible Scarlet O'Neal. The Human Torch was the Human Torch from the Golden Age. So when he was asked to throw together something to compete with the Justice League of America, because superheroes were back, they went with what they thought would work. And we'll talk about Captain Marvel and all of that also. So anyway, no Jack Cole Plastic Man art known to exist. This is the only page known of superhero before working for Quality Comics. He worked for Lev Gleason. Lev Gleason put out Daredevil, which was a Golden Age version of Daredevil. So I guess where Marvel got that. And the most famous villain for Daredevil was the Claw. Yeah. So the thing was a extension of the monsters that they had been doing for years. They didn't want to lose that audience, so they had a monster.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Snork.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Jack Cole. There's less Jack Cole artwork on Calf than there is Macroboy. I don't.
And Jack Cole was so good at what he did. He was recruited to do a Humorama and then worked for Playboy, and could do beautiful women and great gags. And those are the examples that we know to exist later.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, Cole's work is fantastic, and it's criminal that there aren't any Plastic Man pieces out there that we know about. But either way, this is a great piece. Again, cool to see. It's at 18.5. And that's not with the juice. 23 plus. With the.
And it's hand colored by the artist and signed. You
What's
got it all
here.
Yeah, you got it all. I mean, I'd love that. I'd love that to be over my my third shoulder.
Right,
my hump.
So here we go. We got another Captain Marvel cover here. Wiz Comics.
Yeah, again. So again, I don't want to. Yeah, you could talk about every one of these things forever, but Wiz Comics, Captain Marvel, as right after Superman was created, the owner of Fawcett said, "Hey, CC Beck, make me another Superman," and they come out with Captain Marvel, and almost instantly, Captain Marvel surpassed Superman in sales. Just a couple of years later, there's a letter from Fawcett going out to potential licensees. The secondhand reading and the distribution of Fawcett Comics of Captain Marvel was over 40 million people in America at that time. So they were just inundated with requests, and they started a whole licensing department. And they started a Captain Marvel fan club. They were inundated. If you, I took out my Captain Marvel, my Shazam book. You got to get this book, which talks about the history. Great book, Chip Kidd, and Kochman. And it's the history of Captain Marvel and Fawcett and all the rest. And it shows every, not only the history of the publication, but all of the licensed item, toys, and things like that. And there were just a generation of people. And of course, DC eventually sued Fawcett. And by the time all the superheroes had ended, Fawcett just settled the case. They drew it out past that time. But there are some great Captain Marvel licensed items, toys of all the different Marvel Fawcett characters. So there's very few actual Wiz comic covers that exist. And this is issue 19. It's not the earliest, it's not the best, but it does have a good looking babe in it. So I think that's what attracted Keith also in this particular cover.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
Crushing the Tiger Shark. Now, here you go. You have Gene Colan, Bob McLeod, Tomb of Dracula.
I don't know why. I just, to change things up. I went by price, so I think this is already at a decent price. But this is from Tomb of Dracula 1, the magazine, not the comic book. And it's a really nice, because Tomb of Dracula is where Dracula first appeared. When, again, after superheroes in the 60s started to peter out, again, Marvel and DC started looking for alternative types of genres.
Well, it's a beauty. Interesting. Bob McLeod got to ink a lot of vintage Marvel artists in his time. We've had once before. I'd love to have him back on and maybe pick 4 pencilers that he got to work with and just go 30 minutes on each of them and just talk about his time working with them. But this is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Then Kaluta, no surprise.
Again, just to give it a little variety. Again, Kaluta, they loved the way he did Gothic and film noir type of thing. So he was ideally suited for vampire, House of Mystery, and of course The Shadow. Beautiful rendering, very distinctive. Mike's one of the real gentleman in the hobby. I love him, and he's super talented guy.
Definitely. He's got all of the spooky creatures in here except the spider. You got cats, rats, bats, snakes, no spiders. If he would have had a spider in here, he would have covered all the bases. But that's very nice. I Vampire. So House of Mystery 312 splash. Then Wolverton. We don't talk about Wolverton too often on the channel. So this is it's probably because there's just not that much artwork out there.
Again, same thing. Very influential guy, very unique guy. He should be talked about more if you're an underground art collector, because he influenced a lot of the underground art artists. You could see, look at his line, look at his detail. You know, you could see Crumb in there. You could see, I mean, you see a whole variety of the underground guys. And he loved to do these weird people. If you're not familiar with Wolverton, look up some of his stuff, and you'll see he won a contest in Little Abner to draw Lena the hyena, you know, the ugliest woman in the world, and he ended up winning that. Then he did work at Mad Magazine, where he did all these weird looking characters, and he really you know, he really liked these what I guess were called grotesques, bizarre and misshapen people. And yeah, he was a producer of the preposterous. I mean, that's what people termed him. And he was totally unique. And he, you know, again, a very specific niche, and you just didn't see his art, period.
Wow, very cool to see.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff you see are more pin-up illustration-y kind of pieces. So, you know, like you said, some gag-related stuff. But yeah, this is wonderful.
Powerhouse Pepper was a feature in Timely, which was, you know, the golden age version of you know, Marvel before Marvel. And so again, any Timely art is extremely rare. I mean, there's nothing that exists. Like we've talked about, there's one known Schomburg cover. There's very little golden age of anybody. Never mind, you know, stories. Yeah, the catalog is pretty impressive.
I got my catalog too.
Oh, cool.
Here you go, nice Mary Marvel pinup.
Yeah, again, you know, Captain Marvel was so popular that then you started having the spin-offs, Captain Marvel Jr., Mary Marvel.
I'm sorry, I didn't even catch that. Wow.
Yeah. So that's the world's mightiest girl, quote unquote, having a great ride on a butterfly. Very fairy tale type cover, unique. I don't know if you see any covers like that, and the fact that it exists is incredible. Binder, we talked about Lev Gleason and Daredevil comics and things like that. It was Binder is the guy best known for working at Gleason and Daredevil, and his artwork is extremely rare. So for him to have crossed over, done a couple of Fawcett pieces before, you know, settling in at Lev Gleason is amazing. I mean, again, 1946.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this one. So a Jerry Robinson Green Hornet cover.
Yeah.
1945.
Yeah, Jerry, if you read his book, and you know, I knew Jerry well. He you know, he not only worked for DC, but then he was approached, as Harvey did, approached people at Timely and at DC and other places. And yeah, that's how Schomburg ended up working at Harvey, and Joe Simon and Jack Kirby and people like that. So Jerry was approached to do a Green Hornet. So in his own words, the idea was appealing. So I asked George Roussos to help me out. I penciled it and we both inked it, but George did most of the backgrounds. I inked the main characters and did the covers myself. So this is Jerry Robinson, you know, Golden Age great, doing the Green Hornet in 1945.
It's gorgeous. It's really nice.
You see the train carrying planes, you know.
And I love the lighting on this piece. It's really well done. Green Hornet's got a mean left. Look at that. Didn't even have to look where he's shooting.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. This is great. Precursor to Magic
And
Gallery.
and usually something like this is much more affordable than a Jerry Robinson, a Batman cover, obviously.
Right. We got Howard Sherman All-Star Comics. Got
Yeah,
Hitler on here.
another rare piece. Nothing like this was known to exist until the Kozlak collection was found. I want to say back in the 90s. Chester Kozlak, I believe was his name. He was an inker, all right, yeah, and he was a Golden Age and a dealer up in Minnesota found I don't know how he ran into him, but he ended up getting and he had examples of all different artists. He was given different pieces because he was, these guys were told, draw like this, mimic this, do that,
Mm-hmm.
So different examples of different artists came out for the first time ever. Nobody had ever seen Burnley. Nobody had ever seen, guys like that. Here's a page from All-Star Comics 14, 1943, featuring the, Dr. Fate and Hitler. And it's kind of a, I'm not always a fan of Hitler covers in different ways, but this is funny because Hitler is terrified because he's having his tea leaves read, and Dr. Fate is coming to get him. So that's why he's terrified.
Very fitting.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
And the part that I love is that
that?
Dr. Fate arrives. He goes to a concentration camp to secretly feed the prisoners in the story, right? But he can feed the prisoners, but he doesn't release the guys from the concentration camp, right?
Well, he didn't have that. He only had time to cook. He did not have time to do anything.
So he taught the prisoners how to sabotage the Germans. So it's a pretty cool piece. You're not going to find anything else. You don't find pieces like this around, period.
All right. C.C. Beck from 73.
Yeah. So in 1953, after Fawcett agreed not to publish Captain Marvel again, the copyright expired, and Marvel picked up the copyright, and that's why Marvel launched their own Captain Marvel in 1967. And DC wanted, then they acquired the rights to use Captain Marvel, but found that the copyright had been taken by Marvel. So they then decided to publish Captain Marvel as Shazam rather than Captain Marvel. So that's why the titles that DC put out. Later, I forget what year, maybe 91, something like that. They actually bought the rights to all of the Fawcett characters and then started using them. It was Infantino who cut the deal to get that. And this cover is signed by C.C. Beck. They brought back Beck from Captain Marvel from the Golden Age to do this cover.
That's very fitting.
Yeah.
Wow. Another classic, another one in Keith's collection.
Yeah. In his wheelhouse.
Yeah, we mentioned Marshall Rogers earlier, right? When we were looking at the McFarlane. So
exactly. So you have the Batman that influenced McFarlane, and the great thing about Marshall Rogers is his run on Detective Comics, issues 471 to 476, along with Steve Englehart, was so influential on a lot of Hollywood guys. That's the writer and director of Batman, cite that as an influence. So it's just beautifully done. Note the flowing cape that influenced McFarlane. You could see where he got it from.
Yeah, well, this is a really nice cover.
Dark night, wandering through a gloomy moonlit graveyard, flashlight in hand, noose hanging ominously above him, and he receives a message from the great beyond.
We had to get a Jack Kirby Marvel piece in here. So
I don't know why this is in Keith's collection, to be honest with you, but
he got it in a trade. it was filler to make a deal work.
Yeah.
Right. But no, it's a great page from Tales.
He has several, similar Marvel pages, but I picked this one because I've always liked the combination. Here's a Kirby page inked by Steve Ditko, along with Don Heck. So as we know, Ditko on Kirby happened a few times before, from FF13 to Strange Tales Annual, I think it was, and a couple of other things, which were always, every time he did it, it would look different. I mean, even in the first run of the Hulk. It's kind of cool. You got the Human Top making his first appearance in the story. Ant-Man became Giant Man, but in the previous issue or something like that. And so you got a lot of stuff going on. It's a good page, period.
Yeah, the dialogue's great. But yeah, come on, if you can get a Kirby Ditko page, you don't care what it is. Just be able to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we have one other one here. This is Gil Fox, the legend.
This is significant because Gil Fox was the editor up at Quality for a long time. So he worked on Police Comics. He knew Lou Fine. He knew Reed Crandall. And of course, he was an artist in his own right. He also was an editor and on and on. And Gil lived right up here in Connecticut. And he again did an interview, and he pictured in the interview this cover, which people didn't know. He called me many years ago and told me, he would ask me, what is this worth? What do you think of Lou Fine this? I'm like, do you have any? Huh? He's the guy that had, Lou Fine covers and some great Golden Age art. And he had some Police Comics covers. So this is the only one that I remember that had Plastic Man on it. Mm-hmm. So that's why this is significant. There's Doll Man. There were several of those. Heritage ended up getting what remained of his collection back in 2008, something like that, and auctioned those. But this is a Plastic Man cover. Plastic Man first appeared in Police Comics #1. This is Police Comics #11.
Plastic Man, the greatest comic magazine character of all time. Right there. No, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I wonder where Stan got the greatest comic magazine. #1 on the Fantastic Four.
We're saying Stan borrowed a few things.
They all did.
Well, they had to, right? Yeah. I mean, it's all new territory.
Yeah.
I saw Antoine and Rick Welch mention, Hillary Bartle. He had a run in Plastic Man, and he definitely loved Fox for sure, and Cole, just as inspirations for his work. And it shows. Like if you go back and read his Plastic Man work, it's got that same kind of love for that era. But yeah, no, this is awesome to see. And so, how many lots in total are there in the Key From?
I believe 90.
90. Okay.
Yeah, and we covered 21. That's pretty good.
There's plenty more to look at, and the auctions begin closing next Friday.
Hey, I mean, I would have covered more, but somebody told me to keep it to an hour. I'm not going to mention names. I'm not even going to point fingers.
I'm sorry,
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I mean, you weren't going to even be able to do it at all, but you squeezed it in,
Yep.
you put me in between the chickens and the fox, and
My chickens are laying eggs now here too.
Hey, listen, when I heard this story last night, it brought my son came to the
Well, what was the
to
story that
viewing.
you heard? Because I'll let you know if it was 100% accurate or not.
I heard
Or is it
about
not
the
repeatable?
chickens, and I heard that they'd started laying eggs about 3 days ago, and that you were running around like a chicken without your head on, that around the chickens. And my son and his kids, they also did the exact same thing and bought the whole coop and have everything set up, and they had 6 chickens and they're laying eggs and everything was great. Came home one day and guess what? A fox literally came in and 4 chickens gone. Traumatized the grandkids.
Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. We haven't had any issues of lately. We are tempting fate though. We have a chicken run where they're in a caged area, but we actually have been leaving the door open to the coop at night because it was so hot.
They can walk around. Absolutely.
But they roost in there, so they don't leave until the gets light out. But the thing is, if something could get through the run, which is a cage, I'd have problems. But I did bury chicken wire, like 2 feet out from the edge of the run, covered that with rock. So if anything's going to dig, it's got to dig like 3 feet out to kind of get under to get in there. So
no,
we'll see.
No offense. I don't think this audience is interested.
They don't care. Well, they do like chickens. I actually got a package in the mail the other day that had chicken stuff in it, and I thought for sure it was somebody in the audience, and it turned out it was my mom that mailed it to me. But I wouldn't have put it past somebody in the audience to have bought the stuff that got shipped to me because it was all gag stuff.
Hey, listen, I'm just happy you're eating healthier now. That's all. And you put the little date on the eggs like my kids.
I'm gonna buy a rubber stamp that has it's got.
Yeah, you got to put the date on the eggs, and then you leave them out. Then you got to wash them, and only before you use them. They brought me a whole bunch of them, and they would I said, what would I need an instruction list this long to eat to have an omelet? It's unbelievable. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I'm glad that my chicken stories have made it all the way to New York City. I'll ask for that when we talk next. But Joe, as always, it's fun. These aren't your atypical auction previews. We always learn something when we go through these, and that's why I really enjoy talking with you, because there's just fun stuff that we get. Whether it's you're name dropping a collector's collection that made it to the market 20 years ago or 30 years ago that I've not heard of, or just reminding us of some of the stories from back in the day with these creators. It's always fun. So I always enjoy getting to hang out, and I'm sorry we had to limit you to 20 pieces this time, but we'll do better. We'll do better on the next signature auction.
No problem.
We've already got a date on that. Are we going to do an international though? That's the question. Can we squeeze?
I asked Olivier was at the show. Had you come, you could have asked him yourself.
Oh,
but I did ask him, and I think he said yes. So give me a date, and I'll ask him again. He's at the New York show.
Right, because we want to for Olivier, we would do I'd do a 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon show, so we can make it work for him. But let me look at the dates for the auction, and we'll figure it out. Because realistically, we can pick any day during the week, because I can be free for that as long as you are.
I don't even know if I have to do it with.
Well, no, that's true.
Good.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
We could.
I'll ask him if he wants me on it. I mean, listen, while I'm familiar with a lot of the international art, I mean, he knows it intimately because he obviously solicited it and everything else. So
right, no, he's bringing it in. No, that's fine. All right, well, help me get it set up at the very least.
No problem.
We'll go from there.
Yeah, and as far as scrambled or fried, I purposely used omelets so I could avoid the controversy. But of course, I get dragged into the middle of it.
You did it. Yeah. I've tried my chicken's eggs both ways so far. Once easy over once, and scrambled, and I don't know which one I prefer the most yet. Probably.
And did you solve the question? No,
I have not. No, I have not.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Not at all. But I almost watched them cross the road today, so I did stop them from doing that. Thank God, because it's a 50-mile-an-hour road out in front of my house.
Wow.
So they actually, and they're venturing far and wide now that they're free range, because they're way in the back, but they walked all the way around the house, and we're
so
at
you don't
the
have a
gate.
dog. You don't have a dog.
We don't have it. No, we got a cat.
Yeah.
No, no dog. But all right, Joe. Listen,
All right.
it's fun. It's a pleasure as always. If you see Olivier, let him know. We'll be reaching out and figuring out when we can do that preview if he's available. And
I will.
If you get over to New York Comic Con again, say hey to everybody for me.
I will. I'm going to go over and watch the Giant game now. The Yankees, no more Yankees.
No more Yankees. Yes, I saw the headlines the other day.
Really sad.
Yeah, brutal. But all right, Joe, take care.
All right, thanks, Bill. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
All right, always fun talking to Joe. Yeah, and talking, chicken stories. Be darned. It is what it is. But yeah, let's see. I've got a few things to go over, and then we can get Mr. Snork in here and get the CAF update rolling and the CAF picks. But what did I want to go over? The schedule. Might as well even talk about tomorrow night. If you're going to be in New York, right? There's that CAF meetup. Look at that, and look. Is Lance in New York? He's not in New York. I'm not in New York. Marcus, he doesn't even know what NYCC is. He's not in New York. I don't know if Jeff Wedding's in New York, but we know that Kazra's in New York. Daryl's probably not in New York. Carl Choi, he's probably there. He's everywhere. But the New York meetup, what is it? It is tomorrow, right? There we go. I knew I had a slide there somewhere. Look, you can see. Whoa. But they're going to do a group photo on the floor in Artist Alley, I believe that is, tomorrow at noon, and then at 8 o'clock they're going to Gabby O'Hara's. So it'll be a big comic art fans party. And I think before that, I heard Philip LeBon is doing some kind of a gallery show, for the Frank Cho stuff. They've got some kind of open gallery at 6 o'clock. So I think I've heard that some of the collectors are going to end up going over to that, and then winding up at Gabby O'Hara's after that. So should be a fun evening. If it was happening tonight, I would have sent Kazra the link to the studio, and we could have tried doing a live stream from wherever they are, but it's not to be. But for those of you in going to New York Comic Con tomorrow, I hope you end up going to the CAF party as well. It's a CAF meetup. Is it a party? Nah, it's a meetup. At any rate, boy, it's like getting to see Marcus twice on the same screen is weird. But anyways, there you have it. Tomorrow night, that's going on. And then as far as other things going on here at CAF, we've added a few shows. So Saturday night, yes, Saturday evening at 9 o'clock. It's not an art sale with Next Comic Art. Mike McCone is going to be joining Tatiana. She's going to host the show. He's going to be offering up and revealing his pre-OAX opportunities. I know he's got a few kind of exclusive things he doesn't do too often, so you're going to want to tune into that. But also, and we have a new guest, a guest who has never gone to OAX before, who has agreed to come. And I mean, I couldn't be more excited to have this artist in attendance for the 2026 show. And we will be, and I might even pop in and say hi, because he's definitely one of my. Oh, I said he. So I shouldn't have said that. Okay. So this artist will, they're one of my favorite artists, and they are coming to OAX. So I'm very, very pleased to have them there. And so I may pop in just to say hi to them. But they will also be announcing their pre-OAX opportunity as part of announcing them coming to the show. So that's going to be really cool. And I will be producer Bill for that show. I'll be hanging out in the green room, turning on the pre-OAX opportunities for both of these artists. And so it'll be a short show because there's no art for sale or anything like that. But it'll be fun. Mike McCone is always very fun to talk with, and so is this other artist that you'll be hearing about on Saturday evening. So there's that. Brian Boggs, many of you probably have been in his CAF gallery once or twice. He'll be my interview subject next Tuesday. A huge Wrightson and Jeffrey Jones, collector, you name it. And he's been on CAF since, I think since June of 2003. So he's one of those rare people that has an ID number below the 150, for instance. He's been on the site a very, very, very long time. Now, the Baltimore Comic-Con meetup, I believe that's kind of been handed over to all of the Baltimore crew. I think that's Newell and Tom McDonald and Carl's Collection and all of those who are in that area. But I know that Tatiana's going to be there, DeTulio's going to be there, so I don't have the details on what that's going to be yet. But I'm sure I will know by next week what's going on at Baltimore, so I can let everybody know. I'm not going to be there, but again, I think Sardo, DeTulio, and well, no, Sardo's not going to Baltimore. That's right. It's only DeTulio and Tatiana that are going to be there. Then after that, Kazra and I and Tatiana will be at the IX Art Show. We're going to be there from Tuesday through Saturday. That's going to be cool. There's no special meetup or anything like that because I know many of you don't. You're not going to that show, but it's going to be. We're going to come back with a lot of photographs, some interesting stories. We're going to a very high-profile artists gallery studio. And we're going to get a tour of that. We have the opportunity to go to the Frazetta Art Museum on Wednesday before IX opens, so we're probably going to take them up on that. And again, there's just going to be a couple other really cool things that we're going to get to do while we're at that show. So it's going to be fun. I don't think we'll be doing any live streaming or anything like that. And that week we won't have a CAF update to talk about. So, but it'll be a good time. What else we got there? Stefan Rue, Essential Sequential art drop, Nick Perucci art drop, John Wojtek, I mentioned him last week. He'll be on the 4th. I got those dates mixed up, don't I? The 5th is after the 4th, not before it. Greg Teagues will be interview subject. We got Comic Art Live. I can tell everybody that on Monday, Comic Art Live exhibitor booth setup will start. So if you have art for sale and you've been hoarding it for the last 4 or 5 months, now's your opportunity to unburden yourself of that art. Beginning on Monday, I don't know what day is Monday. It is the 13th, Monday the 13th of October. The exhibitor booth setup will start for Comic Art Live. After that, we got some Bart Sears art dropping, and we also have Fred Hembeck back. Like I say, that's a couple weeks before Christmas, so maybe we can get Fred to wear a Santa hat. Maybe we can get him to draw a few Santa sketch cards for that show. I'll have to ask him. It is kind of a holiday theme. If he wears a Santa hat, I will wear a Santa hat for that show. But Fred and I actually were just emailing the other day, and he will not be coming to OAX in 2026. I can guarantee you that. But I'm not going to say he's a lock for 2027. But it's very promising at the moment. So we emailed back and forth a couple times today about that, and he's feeling really close to saying he's ready to travel again. And OAX is like the only show he wants to do. So there's that. We'll have that to think about for the next 16 months. But yes, will Jeff Wedding have to translate for Fred? No, Fred told me he's actually going to be. He's not going to be in his house for this one. I forget where he's going to be at, but his wife Lynn is going to be there, and she's the technology wizard, and she has promised me via Fred that Fred will have great internet, and he will also have a microphone that works, so he doesn't have to do a phone call to Jeff Wedding to translate for him. But yeah, there you have to do that. We'll have to drive a backhoe to the museum. I will not, Marcus. No, I will not. But it'll be interesting to go there. But it will be a fun sale as always. Let's see, what do we got? Matt says looking forward to defending his undefeated title against Jordan. That's true. I did skip over that, but there will be the Jordan versus Matt Kennedy match. I do have their photographs. I will make their slide for their show this weekend, so it'll be up in the queue on YouTube. That's on the 22nd of October. And again, Matt DeTulio will be hosting that one because I will be at IX. And what else we got? Beyond all that, can I take a I'm not going to take a picture of the repaired wall, Marcus. Just as I was not going to take the bait for any of the Keith Fromm things. Keith led a very interesting time in our hobby, one that is forgettable at times and laughable at others, but that was Keith, and he's no longer with us. So at the end of the day, you know, his art. Hey, at least he was collecting it, preserving it, and being the caretaker of it for the next generation of those who will get to be the caretakers and owners of those amazing pieces of art, right? So, so that is that. Now, I don't see Mr. Snork here in the green room. I thought he was going to join me and pop in here while I was doing the schedule. Maybe he's had one too many beers. I saw he said he was drinking, but we're the green elf outfit, says Antoine. I don't know. If I have one? I may have a green elf outfit. I'll have to look. I know that my son has one. Oh, there's Mr. Snork. There's smiling Chris Snork. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Oh, man, I just remembered something, Chris. Doggone it. Hang on a second. Oh, man, I'm so disappointed in myself. Oh, I'm really, this is unfortunate. How do I song and dance my way through all of this? I don't think I can. Oh, geez. This is disappointing. Well, we're gonna leave Chris in the green room just a little bit longer while I try to move a file from this laptop over to here. What is Matt says? Snork is hiding for not picking his Death and Snow White piece. Your Death and Snow White piece was very nice, Matt, but you got picked a few weeks ago. We don't leave you out. Here, let's see. I gotta get this file over here. The show would not be a show tonight if I didn't have this file on my other computer. So bear with me while I move this thing over. I apologize. I'm not looking at the chat right now. Chris can text everybody and answer questions or keep the conversation flowing. Calm down, Kennedy. Hey, I picked a James Siegel piece this week. I could have left him out. He's had some good pieces in there of late. And I actually picked a what did I pick? I left Peter Rowe out this week. I could have picked a Lee Elias piece by him, but I picked a Lee Elias piece by somebody else. I think it was Mickey. I was like, Peter Rowe's been getting picked too many times of late. We gotta mix it up just a little bit every once in a while. Even though I was envious of the war piece that Peter Rowe got from Lee Elias. Everybody knows I've been wanting a war piece by Lee, and I haven't seen him on the market, and then I see it pop in the Peter Rowe's calf gallery, and I was very jealous. All right, let's see here. I can download this file. Now, will this file load into the studio is going to be the next major question. Come on. Let's see here. Fingers crossed. I hope it doesn't need to be something else. Oh, I think it's going to load. Oh, it's loading. Spinning. It's a file. Oh, there it is. It's loaded. All right. So Chris Snork is in the green room. He is ready and raring to go, and he has, I believe, new intro music. Are we ready to hear this before we get to see the man, the myth, the legend? Smiling Chris Snork. Here it goes.
Light that cigar, baby. Wisconsin beer break. Comic art head, watch him collect.
Who did this?
What's next?
Oh my God. See how red I am?
Chris Snork in the house.
Who made a song?
Light that cigar, baby.
That has to be AI.
It has to be. It came from Chuck Arnold. I'm sorry, Chuck. I didn't see Chuck in the chat today. I don't know if he was ready for that. Wasn't that awesome?
It's something
Can I hear
else.
the beginning of that one more time? Because the volume was kind of low on that. Maybe everybody in the audience didn't get to hear that. So one more time.
You're killing me, Bill.
Comic art head, watch him collect. What's next? What's next?
Oh my God. All right, there you go. Oh, Chuck Arnold, thank you so much. I got that at the end of the show last week, and I played it. I was laughing my ass off.
That's pretty good, Chuck. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Chuck's got away with AI. He does. He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need like a 3-minute cut for that, and we need like a little music video to go along with it.
pieced together from
you break dancing. That's what that would be good.
Hundreds of appearances on, yeah. I did consider a gold tooth. I
Did
did
you really?
briefly consider a
Grill.
gold tooth. Yeah,
Well, but I'm sure you didn't consider it for very long.
I didn't. No.
Well, welcome back, Chris. There. Oh, look at. Oh, he does. Look, Chuck Reynolds says he's got a long version. All right, the extended cut of that. All right.
All right.
Hey, if you could work with AI, Snork, you could do a Chuck Arnold.
Now I know who to thank.
Oh God. Oh man. So how you been? All good?
Yep, all good.
Awesome.
You?
Same. It's been we're busy, but just it's been a good couple weeks getting a lot of the pre-OAX stuff ironed out and some of the guest stuff ironed out. We're making a lot of headway with OAX, and we got the mystery sketch launched last Thursday, which was timing was great. We sold more than 100 mystery sketches already, which is, I mean,
that's fast.
Yeah, much. And we figure we got like 5 weeks to go, or no, is it 5? I don't know, somewhere around in there. So things are good. And you heard about the Kirby Awards at OAX. That's that was a major thing that Kazer's been working his ass off on for literally more than a year to pull all that together. I didn't envy him throughout the whole process, because he had to work with a lot of people to get the Kirby estate to to understand what we wanted to do and to work with the museum. But that's kind of when we started working with the museum last year. They were one of the beneficiaries of the auction. So we just thought, when it kind of first came up in conversation, it was like, it's just wild that there is no Jack Kirby related awards, not even like a single award within the Eisners or something like that. You think, how on earth could that be? And we had done the research that there was a Kirby Awards at San Diego in the late 80s. I think they did it twice, like in 87 and 88. And then after that, there was some, somebody said they own the name or whatever. Who knows what happened? But Jack was like, I'm not messing around with this. So it was over. And it's just amazing that all that time, almost 40 years go by, and no one else really thought, or to find a way to work with the family to kind of do something. So we're coming at it definitely from an angle that isn't like a traditional best cover artist of the year and that sort of thing. I mean, because Kirby was all about imagination and inspiration, and he clearly was an art educator, whether he knew it or not. He inspired generations, and so we really look at his legacy, and and even Roz. That's why we say it's the Jack and Roz Kirby Award, because without Roz, I mean, who knows what would have happened in his life. Certainly in a lot of his appearances, Roz was always at his side, and so we really were like, this is an award that they both need to have their name on. So
she's Big Barda, for God's sake.
Exactly. Right. So we're there will be announcements and things in the lead up to that. We're talking with people who want to be a part of different committees as related to the awards. So it's going to be fun, and I feel like we feel pretty honored the fact that CAF is somebody that they wanted to partner with, and the OAX show was one that they saw a lot of value in, and definitely Tom Kraft and the Kirby Museum, having known us for a long time, was very instrumental in talking with the family. And again, but without Kazra, none of it happens. He had to put in a mountain of time and brain power into coming up with lots of this stuff that I'm glad I didn't have to think about it all. So it's wonderful to have it be a part of what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So where are we going to? Werner Roth above Kirby Award? No, come on, Marcus. But that's something to think about. So let's just dive into some stuff. I actually don't have the videos for the CAF update. I don't even have an EXP video to show, because there is no EXP this week, thanks to Comic-Con. I will go ahead and show a couple of the I don't even know if I need to show all the Heritage picks. I literally had to go through the Heritage Wednesday auction like 2.5 times to find 10 pieces, because I just wasn't working. It wasn't happening for me. I was a little discouraged, even though, and I was, because my angle going into it was, I'm like, all right, I want to definitely pick creators that I have not picked before, and it was impossible. It was really impossible. So here, let me get the screen shared. First up, Warren Kremer, a love story piece. I think when Anthony was showing an artwork that was like a true love piece, it might have been Kremer because the style is very similar. But I just thought this was really well done.
Sharon's on there. She's right
Sharon
there.
all over this one.
Yep.
It's a complete one-page story from First Love 90. I mean, you don't get too many of those. But either way, I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. Yeah. The illustrations on this thing are just fantastic. It's from 1963. Look at it. He has a beautiful woman on his shoulder, and look at how glum that putt looked. Come on, man. The 60s weren't that bad.
Right?
My goodness. Anyway, I
thought this smacked her right after that, too.
He probably did, or she's.
That's why it's a one-page story.
Peter Rose says that piece was uncredited in the GCD. All right, what I mean, you have to agree, Peter, that it did look a lot like Kremer. Now that you look at this piece, okay, now John Byrne. We pick John Byrne stuff a lot, but this is Space 1999 page, and I've actually always been looking for a Space 1999 page by John Byrne. But I know that I'm going to look for one that doesn't have like the full crew on it because someone's always going to outbid me on this one. But you figure this is 1976, and I read these Charlton. They were Charlton books, right? Yeah. And again, to get Landau on here and Barbara Bain, right? I mean, come on, this is cool. I've seen pages from Space 1999 on the market before, but usually they're just more like spaceships and stuff. Nothing. You don't get all the lead characters. So I didn't even put a bid on this one. Because I know I'm not going to get it, but I did bid on 4 things. So I'm still winning on 3 of them.
All right,
strange.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what they are. But Tim Truman. This is from Hawkworld. Now there is also a Jonah Hex Tim Truman page out there as well. But I thought this was better. As much as I like the Hex page, this Hawkworld page is really well done. I just love, the composition, having that kind of like full page splash behind these panels, and the way it's layered. The panels are just totally unorthodox. I thought this is fantastic. Yeah. I'm not going to bid on it because I don't know anything about Hawkworld, but it's a great example. Then Bruce Timm. Okay, I do highlight Bruce Timm a lot, but this is a good one. Look at that. Iron Fist kicking Shang-Chi, master of Kung Fu, in the jaw. I mean, I don't think he's coming up from that.
That's how it would go down, too.
I think so. I mean, come on.
Fans in the audience. Sorry.
Right. Well, he's good at the martial arts, but at the end of the day, I mean, come on, Iron Fist. He's got way too much more going for him.
Yeah.
Then what was the next piece? Okay, so now I'm struggling. George Wonder. I had to pick a George Wonder piece. Color. It's a really great illustration. I have no idea what it's from. I think it was some Revolutionary War book, but it is well illustrated. George Wonder. George Wonder did a lot of work with strip art, right? We're familiar more with him from the 50s and 60s with Kniff. Right, I think doing a lot of the Kniff related strips. At any rate, a color piece by Wonder I thought was kind of cool. As an illustration, it's pretty darn good. Then, okay, Howard the Duck, right? Yeah, no, this wasn't Howard the Duck. It was Howard Chaykin. I skipped the Howard the Duck by Golden. All right, and went with the Chaykin. And I thought this was the Solomon Kane piece from Marvel Premiere was pretty cool. I don't know why. I mean, come on, those of us who like Chaykin. No, he tells a good story. I really like the first 5 panels, more than the last 2. But as an overall page, I think this is really nice.
I would actually say I think that bottom right panel is the most Chaykin-y panel.
You like that one the most?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No, well, I can see why, but I don't know.
I think it's more emblematic of Chaykin than the rest of the stuff.
All right. Well, I feel like the pacing and the storytelling, and then in those first 5 panels is there for me. But we're allowed to see art differently, Chris.
Yes, of course.
Then I picked this one. This next one's for Marcus because I think I picked the Kelly Jones not too long ago, and I picked another one here. No Batman on this one though. It's also, it's all Scarecrow, which I thought was kind of cool. But I was reaching at this point. After for the George Wonder and the Taken, I was like, I didn't want to pick another Taken. I didn't want to pick another Kelly Jones, but I had to. And anybody who goes and looks at the weekly auction will see that there was like a lot of strip art. They actually had they weren't proofs, but they had stuff that shouldn't have, you wouldn't think you'd see in there. They had prints. There was some weird things in this set that I wasn't. I didn't want to waste my time looking through. But anyway, so
great lighting on that one.
Agreed. Then there was this Moon Knight page by Bill Sienkiewicz. Thought that was very nice from issue 25. I mean, I don't remember the issue or anything, and whatever's going on here isn't like, isn't Moonlight or Moon Knight in the best light here because he's getting beat up. But otherwise, it's
great.
If you're in the market, it's a page for you. Then I had to pick another Darwin Cook Batman page. Again, these are, I don't know what is it from? Darwin Cook's Batman Ego story page. But again, I thought the first panel was awesome. I want to see more cityscape behind his figures, but you sort of get it, yeah. But not.
I actually like this maybe as much as New Frontier. This is a really good book.
Really? Well, I know nothing about.
I know.
This book. And last but not least, another vintage piece here, Bob Lubbers. This is from 47. But I didn't read the story panels or anything like that. But just looking at the imagery, I really enjoyed it. And the panel I loved the most was the last one in the lower right, where it's a close up of the guy bringing the whatever he's got. Is that gold dust? I don't know what he's got. Yeah, there's plenty of gold here. So just pulling it towards him, you see the hand, and that was the thing that sold me. That and the woman getting on the horse bareback after whatever the hell happened to her at the beginning of it. Anyway, and how often can I pick a Bob Lubbers piece?
Lubbers, yeah.
Not too often. Wisconsin is for lubbers. Oh boy, what a night. True. It is. All right, let me drop this thing out. Now, my son was very busy today, and he said he had computer problems, so he didn't help me out with my CAF update stuff. So I'm not really, and it was an okay average week. But I will tell everybody that 130 point website that I always reference for looking up eBay prices really is working again. I don't know why it was down, but I'm gonna put the link in the chat for those of you who are sometimes curious about make offer pieces and what they actually sold for. That link right there takes you to a site where you can just plug in the title. The easiest thing is just copy an eBay title, put it in the search, and you will get the actual price. And I can actually show you the screen because one of the eBay pieces did have a make offer, and that's how I was finally able to confirm that it does in fact work again. Where are you? Is it there? Share. Yeah, this is it. Let's see. The piece in question was this Art Germ Scarlet Witch sketch cover that says it sold for $4,000, but you can see it clearly says best offer. And when I went over to 130 point, I was able to see that it sold for actually $3,400. So it's a useful tool. And you can even see here another Art Germ piece sold on September 30th for less money. So it's it's one of those things that I was using a lot, and it stopped working for like 2 weeks, but it's back up and running. So there you go. That'll be my one market data point to talk about. But I guess I can look at it and say what was the big sales of the week? Berkey and Felix were leading the way. Felix had some. He sold that Jeffrey Allen Love book complete. I think he also had something else he sold complete. But average weeks for dealers and auction houses, just totally normal. So we can move on from there, right? Yeah. We'll just dive right into the picks, man, because I left everything in the tabs here, so I can just move from one thing to the next. So you started off with a Mike Zeck, and we just got to see Master of Kung Fu getting his butt kicked. Yeah. But here he is dishing out some pain on his own.
He's getting it back. Yeah. I picked this because a lot of this, I feel like Master of Kung Fu stuff that I see doesn't feel, it feels like Proto Zack to me, or it's not quite like what he would wind up doing. but that bottom left, the face in the bottom left, I feel like is like that's kind of like where he wound up. So for me, it was cool as it's kind of formative in a way. So as a I guess amateur Zach historian / big fan, that bottom left face and actually the panel right next to it too. I was like, okay, I'm seeing it shape up here.
Yeah. So whose collection is this in? I didn't check. Oh, Indy Jones. Yeah, their stuff's been popping up on my. I don't think I'm watching his calf gallery yet, but he's been posting some good stuff lately. I didn't see this one though.
I think I was too close to my mic there. Do you still hear me echoing?
No, I don't hear an echo at all.
All right. I actually heard it echo, but.
Oh, I see Tom said it too. Weird. Sometimes usually that could be because my microphone is too loud, but I got my speakers at 50%, so I don't think it's me.
I'll turn mine down too.
Antoine says that bottom left is suggestive of Zek's Punisher work.
Exactly.
All right. Well, congrats to Indy Jones on adding that one to their collection. Now, Ryan P. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me highlight my like on this one. So Art Adams, Fear Itself cover. Man.
2 people this week, I actually came across pieces that I wanted to talk about, and I emailed them both through CAF and said, do you have a better image? Do you have a scan? And like both of them actually replied and posted better images. So this is thanks to Ryan for putting up a nicer looking scan of this piece, or I think it's a photo, but a nicer photo. The other one was really washed out in the middle where those muzzle flashes are, and so it was doubly washed out. But
right,
I love Crossbones. He's got 2 micro Uzis in this, so like thematically or tonally, it's right up my alley. Everything else is essentially, yeah, exactly, Antoine. Like the scenery in this piece is like really evocative. They're in some kind of like an old like European warehouse, or they're under something or whatever, duking it out. And I had actually never seen this image before I came across it.
Me neither.
As a I had not seen it as a cover or whatever. So for me, it was kind of like, doubly delightful to come across it for the first time and be able to talk about it on the update.
Well, no, I mean, and you're right. Art Adams' work, you usually get to see it all one way or another if it's not on your socials or something. And yeah, when you picked this one, I was like, A, I didn't see it on CAF, and then B, I've never seen this image anywhere before. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. It was nice of Ryan to post a better image of it. We got to get him premium though. He's only been a member for a couple months. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, welcome to the site, Ryan.
In the description that he thought about selling this, and I was like,
Oh, oddly enough, one of your pieces, the 4th or 5th one, was actually removed from CAF. I forgot. I didn't see it until a couple hours before the show. Yeah, I was like, when I was loading up the slides, I apologize. Yeah, it was your let's see. Gosh, I can't remember which one it was now. Well, we'll find out in a minute, won't we? All right. Well, next up, what do we got? Romain Verlier. I have no idea. LaFrenchCollection.com is his website. So I think he's in France. So this is oh well, come on, it's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, and Starlin.
Yep.
Do you like the way Starlin draws the thing? To me, I would have thought that the way he draws the thing is just a little too symmetrical. Because even whenever Starlin drew him, all the rocks were about the same size. I mean, it just feels like he draws them unlike anybody else.
So that's actually my criticism of Starlin overall, is that like everything is really prescribed, right? Like it's tight, it's clean, like, no complaints about the quality of the draftsmanship or whatever, but it tends to be a little same. I really actually picked this because I like his take on the Hulk. Like the Hulk has
the thing, that first panel where he's getting socked. I mean, that's
it's
incredible.
What can you say, right? But yeah, no, I mean, this is an easy pick for me. This is a thing, a favorite pick. But yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, not a huge fan of Starlin. I do love the Thing's facial expression in that first panel, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny because every time, I feel the same way about Starlin. He's very I don't know. He's just got this analytical approach to his artwork and his for whatever. But whenever I would see a convention sketch of the Hulk, which he drew he drew a fair number of them, I liked him. There was something about the way he drew the Hulk that was always cool. And
well, a little like Frankenstein.
Yeah, you're right. He does have a little bit of Frankenstein vibe going there. Antoine thinks the Hulk looks a bit like an after. Well, he may, but look at that first panel. I mean,
maybe that's part of it, Antoine. Like I said, I think my criticism of Starlin is typically that he's pretty straight up and down, and maybe the fact that he kind of phoned in the Hulk makes it a little more like free.
That very well may be it.
Yeah.
But no, I love this piece myself. So this is a nice pickup by Romaine. Yeah, he got plenty of comments on this one. Good for him. He can always use another one, everybody. So happen into Romaine's Calf Gallery. Leave him a comment on that one. Then who is this? Marco Delato, 11-year member on Calf. Lives in Italy. So we have a Castellini and Farmer Conan cover.
Right? Wow. I mean, I've made no secret about the fact that I really love Claudio Castellini. I love the hyper rendered but highly exaggerated anatomy. It doesn't matter who he's drawing, they are going to be muscled out to the nth degree. And Conan is basically that's your canvas, right? If you're gonna draw a huge buff dude, have it be Conan. So he gets to, Castellini gets to do what, in my opinion, he does best here. Also, he's great at aping Buscema. And, if you're going to ape, Buscema, do that here too. But, yeah, it's, in the way it's busy, it's kind of of that time, right? Mm-hmm. But, there's a lot to look at here, and there's a lot to like.
Yeah, no, agreed. I did not see this one until you picked it. It's beautiful.
And I don't know that I've ever seen Farmer ink him before, so that was cool too.
No. Oh no, a good pickup. I'm glad you saw it because I would not have seen this one. Hey, speaking of, you did get that email I sent the other day, right, about the beta stuff?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I actually re-downloaded Test Flight and I haven't gotten it. I've been doing a little software testing my own, Bill.
I get it. Yeah. I know you were busy last week. I know. It's still going on, huh?
It's ongoing, baby.
I'm sorry. Well, when you have time, let's see here. So let me get my like on this one to get started. But Chris Stevens, obviously, but we're in Raj Patel's Calf Gallery. Yeah, I'll let you. I thought this was one of my favorite images on Calf this past week. Really? I love Chris Stevens stuff. But a lot of times, the colors kind of blend together. I think just the with the character, the red is so hot. Mm-hmm. He's captured the metallic quality of the figure more, and maybe even just after talking with Sean Crystal last Saturday when he said that he was talking color theory with Chris Stevens. I think I just have a different appreciation for Chris's work now that I thought he was so very labored and there wasn't a lot of accidents in his work, but Sean was like, oh my gosh, Chris is all about discovery and having things happen that he wasn't expecting and just running with it. And so I think I look at his work a little bit differently. And this one, I mean, he's got that stainless steel metallic, feeling in this thing so well. I mean, that I don't know who could have done a better job, with the colors on this piece than Chris.
Well, I think, your comment is interesting because I think maybe part of where that comes from is the fact that everything is so incredibly highly rendered, right? And when you look at something that is like this level of technical, I mean, it's so technical everything that he's doing is so like really, really incredibly dialed in that I think you could be guilty of like feeling the same way about the palette or about the technique or about the colors. Like I get that, but like I've actually seen pieces where I felt like, oh, that didn't quite work. You know what I mean? And I think to Sean's point, like that can be accidental, you know, and like if he has the guts to just like ride it out and like, you know, finish it up, like I think that's part of being like a, you know, there's an element of bravery to that in a way as an artist.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that. This works like top to bottom, left to right. Like this is,
and I know that I could, you know, I could cite pieces as well, and I won't. But I'm with you there. And every once in a while, some of the colors together don't work quite the way you know you expect them to. But I mean, here, there's literally not a mistake or not a thing that I find unappealing at all about it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was drawn to it by the reds. How could you not? And then as you look at the figure and just the way he's handling, you know, getting the reflection and the metallic quality of that, I mean, it's brilliant. And how do you you know, and he's like he's basically challenging us to say why isn't this character red from the reflections? I mean, and it's just running with it, and it just. Because he has a little bit in the figure, but certainly not enough. There has to be another light source for this piece.
Well, when you look at the light sources, you've got the explosions going off at her feet, right? And that's being reflected on the leg and the underside of the thigh. But then you've got the blue energy effect coming from the mother box and you know that kind of stuff. And I think that's what he's choosing to reflect. Like it's really when you look at the angles of the armor and the way the figure is posed, I think the palette makes a lot of sense. But to your point, like having to do both on like one piece or one section of the figure is, I mean, I give him a lot of credit for being able to blend these together.
Yeah, me too. OAX artist, you know, everybody, I bet you he's coming back. He is local. We haven't announced him yet, but how could he not come back? I saw him at Ocala. He's, I talked to him. I think I told everybody that. I finally got to Chris Stevens when I wasn't at my own show.
Right.
Such a nice guy. His wife was so I don't think I even met his wife. I don't know if she came to the first 2 years, but she was with him, and she was like, yeah, OAX is her favorite show, and I'm like, I don't even remember.
She was there because I talked to her year one.
Well, that's good because I didn't
and
remember
his daughter.
at all. So, but yes, I would have to believe that he'll be coming back, and you know how. He's obviously, you know, so many people have picked up his work there. I mean, you know, and he did a very nice piece for the Hero Auction the last time too.
I've got to upgrade my Stevens. I think I say that every time I feature him, but mine is Statue Forum era. He's progressed a lot since then.
All right, well, where are we going to from here? We got Lee Dunch now, Victor Santos.
Yeah, on the opposite end of the spectrum from Chris Stevens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor Santos. So I love, you know, high contrast. I don't think that's a secret. What I really love about this though is that, and I'm guilty of saying this 1,000 times, but this is all just like made up of shapes, right? And like the more you take out gradient and, you know, tone and things like that, and you're just left with black and white, the harder it is to make the image really sing. And I think he's really managed to do that here. And the stuff that he's chosen, like you can't call this piece like lit necessarily because he's made some deliberate graphic decisions that kind of defy the lighting that he's going for. So where he drops out the white from her hand, her right hand, that should be in shadow, and the piece that's the opposite hand is lit as though it's more like should be a mid-tone. And you know, when you put this together graphically, when you're thinking about the composition, like all those decisions really matter, and he like made the right parts the right tones, and I think that's why this really works as a composition.
Yeah, I mean the composition's perfect, and the way he's handled the lighting on the character and just working with the shapes and playing with it. Yeah, it's very nice. I saw Antoine mention, Miller of course plays with light really well.
Sure.
choosing to like, just
Michael Cho. I mean, yeah.
So it would be another good example.
There's a little Bruce Timm in this.
Mm-hmm. Well, a nice pickup here. And I got my like on that one. So let's see what's next. This is in Patrick R's calf gallery. Justice League, Dick Dillon.
This thing
Dick
just
Giordano.
Well, I love everything about. I've actually seen this in person. It's huge, which just adds to the piece. But like, I love the freedom fighters. These are such great characters, and like they played such a weird role in this era at DC because it was like, well, they're kind of like stuck in this time, and so you had all the different Earths happening, and like Earth X, which my brother tells me is where the new season of Peacemaker is set. It takes place on Earth X, so a little Earth X reference on this page too. But like, I just love the fact that like, it's got this huge American flag across the background, so many characters, so well drawn by Dillon. For me, like this is what I loved about getting, Silver Age into, quote unquote Copper Age or Modern Age or whatever you want to call it. Like, I love these books. And so this is a nostalgia pick. And when I saw this was in Patrick's collection, I was just like, I was blown away by it.
Nope. I don't know. I'm not a DC guy, but I love it as a title page. I think it's fantastic. But you actually saw this in person?
Yeah.
Well, congrats. At a show, I assume?
No, at Chuck's house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when we had our little Nashville meetup, everybody brought portfolios, and I met a couple guys that I hadn't met before and that are from the area. So, yeah.
Nice. Congrats to Patrick. Rick W. Rick W. is always adding good stuff. Tim Truman. I know you like Tim Truman.
I do love Tim Truman. I think I picked this because it's so weird. There were actually a few nice Tim Trumans last week, but this is the one that really spoke to me. And I think it was that big, weird stone mouth that like eats the two characters.
This didn't happen in Harry Potter. I know that. My goodness.
Yeah.
That's
this awesome. Is also from like a less celebrated or whatever unsung or whatever you want to say title that he worked on. So that appealed to me too. We all know Scout, and we all know his stuff on Jonah Hex and that kind of Grimjack. But like I don't think not a lot of people I don't think read this book. John Ostrander is a great writer, but yeah, I don't remember picking up a lot of Star Slayer.
No, I didn't either. I actually picked up a few issues after the, more like in the mid 90s when I or later 90s when I first went back to buying comics. Like I saw the title and picked them up, and I couldn't get it. I was like, I enjoyed because I love Tim Truman's work, but I couldn't get into the story, unfortunately. But I love the art. Rick Wells says I also had the following page with Grimjack.
There you go.
Sweet. When I was at the comic book tent sale, I picked up what was it? Grimjack issue 75. Like this oversized. I'm halfway through it. Grimjack's a hard read sometimes. It's a fun book, but it's tough to get through. I mean,
it's great to look at though.
Yeah, visually, I really enjoy it because the characterizations of every the characters he encounters are just so bizarre.
All the designing that he had to do.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's a fun book to go through, but yeah.
I used to pick up Grimjack exclusively at Half Price Books. The comic store that I worked at, there was a Half Price Books that was basically 2 doors down, and they got comics. I mean, they had almost as many comics as we did.
Oh wow!
So you could go in there and buy like stacks of they always had Grimjack, they always had 2000 AD, they had like that's where I got the Captain Britain magazines from. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's I did not have anything like that available to me, but congrats, Rick, for another Truman pickup to add to your collection. Now, yeah, somebody had to pick this one.
Yeah.
This is of course in George Hodge's collection because it's musicians and everything. Artist Steve Beach.
Yeah, I was not familiar with the artist. I am a huge GI Joe fan. I've actually been buying all the GI Joe classified figures for my nephew because while I would love him to have the same 3 3/4 inch GI Joes that I had when I was a kid, that's cost prohibitive to say the least. So I can get him brand new GI Joes, mint in package. And Hasbro actually for San Diego did Cold Slither as a box set, and it had like they all came with instruments, and it had like a backdrop. It opened. It had like a marquee with Cold Slither on it. And anyway, they had a band that came to SDCC and played Cold Slither tunes. And I don't know, I was just like really knocked out by the fact that like they went so hard in the paint for Cold Slither. And then when I saw George post this, I was like, oh, this is getting picked.
Yeah, it had to. I mean, this is it. I'm still really curious. Steve Beach. I'm just not familiar with their work. Okay, well, they don't have a lot. Well, no, there's probably that might be his only one. No, there's two. Well, not many pieces by them on calf.
Yeah,
less than 10, that's for sure.
It has like a paperback novel kind of look to it, which I like.
It does.
Yeah,
it's like something Sienkiewicz would have been asked to paint in the 80s or something, or Boris Vallejo. Like, come on, give us a calendar piece here. I don't know, but yeah, no, I love it. I would have picked it too, just from sheer just. Yeah, this is about the craziest thing I've seen on calf in a while.
Yeah.
Marcus says there's a variant cover by Beach. Okay.
Well, I give a lot of credit to George for picking this up because I think it's incredible.
Indeed it is. So a nice set of picks. You only got 9 though, my friend. I'm sorry.
I'll live.
All right. Dale Keown. This is what is it? Is it a variant cover? Yeah, it's a Hulk variant cover, and it's Hulk and Predator. I mean, it's Keown. I just love what's not the love about Keown's style, right? And I think you just get it all here with just the fine, intricate line work,
and like all the tonal stuff that he does now is so good.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the Hulk here. I mean, look at that. That's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
I don't know what kind of Predator they're sending. I don't like the Predator's chances against the Hulk, but
No, I mean that was gonna be my comment too. Was like, how can the Predator stop the Hulk? There's no freaking way.
He couldn't even beat Arnold.
No, exactly. But
or Danny Glover.
Yeah, and this
or Adrian Brody.
As Rick Welch just said, Bill J killing it. Yes, Bill J he always gets the good stuff, but yeah, that's an awesome one. And I don't know. I think when I think of Bill J, I think of lots of different characters, even different artists. But hey,
I was surprised to see this in his gallery.
Yep,
but I like it.
Antoine said he saw a little Mark Beecham in that Beach piece, and that's true. I guess color-wise, certainly. Beecham's a little more exaggerated in his figure work, but color palette wise, definitely. What else did I pick here? Oh, here you go. James Siegel gets a pick.
I like this.
I skip that guy all the time. I was like, okay, Eminem, Graw Badger. I just thought that's just beautiful. The line work, isn't it? Look at that. It's heavy. The outlines are kind of heavy. The line work is heavy, but it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. As a DPS, yes, I got to go back out and.
Eminem is so good. He is one of my very favorite artists.
Yeah, that's better. Compositionally, I mean, it's perfect and fun, and in a DPS you don't usually get. I love the fact that he's just kind of silhouette the characters there. Just to focus on them, no backgrounds, throws the panels on 2/3 of a DPS. Again, unheard of. Just in a layout, and I think it works really great. I don't mind that her legs are like kind of in a tangent with the lower set of panels.
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, things that I would look at it and I think, oh, I shouldn't like it for this reason, and I'm like, no, I love it.
I think the weight of it makes it okay. I mean, I see what you're saying, like that the gutter there kind of like bisects her foot, but her leg is at a different angle, and it's such a different weight that I feel like it's pretty excusable. I love I think the facial expressions are really what this page is so good about.
Same. Yeah.
Art
Yeah. No, I
is so good
agree.
about this page. Yeah.
Tom says he needs to leave a comment on the. You gotta get in there and do it. Here, I'll even throw the link in the chat for everybody. Yeah, that was a good one.
Inman and Von Graubadger, that's a, put that up there with Silvestri and Green and, Davis and Farmer, or yeah.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. So congrats, James. Another X-related piece for your calf. Then Dan P, I guess the host of the gathering in New York last night, pulled together a lot of top collectors that were going to the show, and he's just got such great taste. Everything that I've ever seen him show me that he has in his collection is just a perfect example. And here you go, you got a Kevin O'Neill illustration of the league. And
how many people can even say they have a Kevin O'Neill, let alone this caliber?
Right. No, you can't. And I mean, the more I love Kevin O'Neill's work, and I'm looking at the composition here. It's brilliant. I mean, the way he's got her position crossing over all of the characters. I mean, she ties the whole thing together. He just hints at backgrounds.
Like strikes out from the vertically from the group.
Right. Yeah, this is amazing. I envy Dan. But if I could lead another life, it would be Dan Paddock and having the collecting chops to pick up the pieces that he gets, however he gets them. He's amazing.
Well, he's well connected and he's well loved.
That is true. He's got that suave voice too. That just he just woos you into just, what would you like to take from my collection today, or trade for my collection today, Dan? I'll do it. But anyways, I love this piece. Then let's see. Next up, I wasn't going to pick this one because I think the scan's a little dark. I think we've talked about this artist before, Angel
Unzueta. Yep.
I believe I know that they have a fair number of pieces on calf.
Yep.
But I really just love their approach to their tonal work. I was looking at the Sentinel here, and I just love the dry brush effect, on the Sentinel's head, and so from that alone, it made me go back and look like, all right, well, how did he tackle Wolverine and the reflection, and I just like this piece a lot. It feels a little like a Fastener Larson kind of vibe with the way that the tones are laid in there. But with a little bit of a modern approach, and I really, the more I looked at it, the more I really liked it, and then when I looked to see some of the other pieces by them on calf, I really appreciated this one all the more because the motifs overdone, right, with the Sentinel with whatever X-Men character, but I just love the tonal work in this, and I think it makes me want to have a piece of art from Angel.
When I saw the thumbnail, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," and I clicked into it. And at first, I looked at it and I thought, "It's too monotone," And
I think it's. I like to think it's the scan or the photograph, right?
I thought it was too monotone, and then I realized, no, you know what? That one hot white point from the Sentinel's eye is so effective. It makes up for it.
Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. And again, if you're not familiar with their work, here, I'll just throw this link in the chat. You can look at this piece, but then click on their name, and you can go see some other pieces by them on calf. I'm not going to do that here because we're running late. But yeah, no, I like it a lot. I want to see more artwork by them. Here we go. Leah Lies. This. I could have picked Peter Rose War Page.
I knew you were going to pick this. I had a strong feeling.
I'll be honest. I had the War Page picked, and then I was like, I picked too many pieces from Peter. So I've got to go back to this one because I do like this one a lot. I'd say that I already did my like on there. The Black Cat pages are still affordable, that are out there. But I love this one, especially the center panel. Well, really the whole thing. But those first three panels are just so dynamic. I mean, but the middle one in particular, just the way what he chooses to for the landscape. I mean, the bushes, the tree. I mean, these are like jagged. I mean, it's wild what he's doing here. You know, to design the landscape. Then I'm looking at this monkey, the way he's decided to do the line work on it.
Yeah.
I love Lee Elias, and his stuff is so good. He almost, you know, the character, the black cat, almost isn't, you know, it takes away from what we're seeing here, because everything else around it is so good. I mean, think about it. You take her out of this, and if that horse and that monkey are jumping over that fallen tree, it's a beautiful illustration.
Yeah.
You know, arguably, that's one of the best horse illustrations I've seen on calf in the last year. I mean, Elias is awesome.
You know my feeling, man. Horses are hard to draw.
Horses are freak. Yeah, exactly. But
I really like the fact that, like, so the middle panel, like, there aren't even really a lot of lines there.
Nope.
A lot of it is just marks.
True. I mean, right. I mean, look at the base of the tree where that's grass or
Yeah.
whatever. He's just filling in the space with texture.
Yeah.
And even the leaves on the tree, that's just like he's playing around with texture around it. It's amazing. I mean, I really love Lee Elias. I mean, I always probably love, you know, like I want my Kubert first. I love Kubert more, but Lee Elias is damn good.
I didn't know Black Cat had a monkey friend. That's cool.
Yeah. Look at me. She calls it Pepito.
Yeah.
Wait for me, Pepito. Look, she's like that. Pepito outran the horse. Her swinging through the jungle on a whip or whatever she's using here. I have no idea.
That's her lasso.
Man, a lasso. There you go.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I love it. Yeah, Lee Elias heavily. Well, I agree, definitely. But still, brilliant work here. So, Mickey, I hate you. In this piece, but I know there's plenty of Black Cat artwork out there to find if you know where to look for it, and it's still affordable. So,
well, this is a good one.
This is a very good one. Now, and that's not taking anything away from Peter Rowe's war piece.
It was the honey. Yep, that was a good one.
It really was. And so then Carl
Lonergan, look out, Bill.
Lonergan, Godzilla, smashing a baseball stadium, right? I mean, I thought this was freaking awesome. And perspective's great on it. Textures are great on it. I mean, talk about the textures. You know, we're looking at the Lee Elias piece. Now we look at this from Lonergan, and wow. And you get Kirby Crackle on this thing, and the crackle's even fun the way it's drawn. Those are they're not circles, they're squares. I love this.
That's some Mignola crackle there.
All right, Mignola crackle. All right. Doggone it. But anyways, look at that. Lonergan, Godzilla. They were meant to be merged.
You wouldn't think it, but there it is.
Yeah.
And like, I don't associate, like, I don't think about, like, when I think about Lonergan, I don't think about like this type of density in a piece. A lot of times his stuff is way more open than this. So it was kind of cool to see him really go like Art Adams or, you know, Jeff Darrow mode on this one.
Sure. It was surprising for me too. I mean, I had no idea, you know, I don't follow modern comics, so I didn't know anything about you know, Lonergan working on this. But yeah, I was like, shoot, this works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
cool.
Cool.
The old kitty face Godzilla too.
Yes, it is. That's funny. I didn't even realize that, but you're right. No, that's awesome. Well, Carl, congrats. We know you're a fan of Lonergan, as many of us are, and you got a good one here, a really good one. I love seeing the red pencil on here too.
Marcus loves it too.
Does Marcus love it?
He loves red pencil. Yeah.
Ah.
He's really into it.
Oh, Marcus. All right, what do we got next here? Who's Calories?
Oh, Val Semix, Demon.
Yeah,
I like it.
Derek Brumfield. So yeah, I thought, you know, I really liked the perspective on this. You know, he's filling the page with so much detail, kind of a, you know, a top-down view of the Demon. I just thought Val did a great job, and I've always liked Val's work, but it doesn't bother me all the skulls. It shouldn't bother Maureen, but I just love filling a cover with a lot of detail, and the angle on this piece lets him do that. And
his work on this title was so, I mean, for him, it was really wild looking.
Yeah.
And like, I really got the feeling that like he was trying stuff. Like he wanted to like cut loose a little bit when he was on this book.
Well, I think he definitely did. And I love the you know, the heavy line work, like on the chest, the cape. I mean, I don't. Yeah, he's just kind of given us a little bit of tonal work in there, but yeah, I love this piece. I really, really was impressed by it, and I wish it was a bigger scan. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
But leave my like on here. And again, what's the name of the calf gallery? Derek Brumfield. Okay, look at this. This is a 1 month member right here.
Hey,
So everybody get in there and leave a comment. Here, let me throw that in the chat too. I mean, we got to encourage these new members to keep using the sites, and comments are always a good thing. Here we go. See,
you got Duke Fleed commenting in your first month. You're doing.
oh my gosh, and Mr. Dave Vitch. I can't even get a comment from Dave Vitch anymore.
I know.
Shoot, man. Well, that's it's a great piece. So congrats, Derek, for doing that, and welcome to CAF. I wonder if you posted that with the app. It's a photograph.
Yeah,
maybe.
Starlington, one update.
I did. I like this piece, man. I it's got Leia Loa inks. Anything that Leia Loa inks over Starlin,
helps.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
And again, this is from what was Warlock 9, and I just love it. I just thought it was a great piece. I love the first, the first 3 panels are awesome. I love the second panel. And it just a strong ending of it. I've become a spiritual vampire. And
Warlock is so emo on this page.
Yeah. So no, I love this one a lot, and it's in Bronny's Calf Gallery. Another good one. This is kind of fun. I didn't even notice all the the pencil work left in there for the lettering. That's I like seeing that. Look at that.
Letter guides. That's cool.
Yeah, that is nice. All right. Let me see. Do I have 1 or 2 more? I'm not sure. Oh, I know this is in Benno's Calf Gallery. It's from Mr. Wayshack, obviously. Yeah. I love Jonathan's work, man. He is so freaking good. I saw he wasn't going to New York Comic Con, so he's home, probably working. But I just love his imagination, his style.
This is creepy.
There's nobody else really like him out there today. And I always just like, what's the next thing that John's going to do that's going to blow your mind, and I look at this, and it's I kept coming back to it and just like looking at the figures, like look, what is this character, why does it have 2 mouths, why does it have an ice cream cone on its head, why has this guy got this big lollipop? I don't even care, I mean, and then
Wonderland a little bit.
Just blindfolded. What is because Ben didn't write any.
Not saying it is, but that's what it makes me think of for some reason.
He said, let's see. Oh, look, and Benno says, I made up the name, but no one would expect Jonathan Wayshack could make up the yeah, I get it. But look at that. He is so talented. I mean, he's layering in some paint in all this, ink wash, pen, brush. I mean, he's amazing. He's like, he's like some of the like best I don't know, like magazine cartoonists, like editorial cartoons, right? I mean, that maybe vintage ones from like the 80s. Some of those guys who you're like, why are these guys drawing editorial cartoons? They're so damn good. And then it's like Jonathan Wayshack, man. This guy could do anything because he's such a great illustrator. But he gets to like play around and just like make the craziest shit up and
make stuff up. Yeah.
So
okay, so now hypothetically, you bring this home, no skulls. Does Maureen? Does this go on the wall?
The funny thing, the cat makes it. We are a cat family.
Yeah.
And that let me look at that. The illustration, the way look at that cat. That is
the cat with the upside down cross on it, which is fitting because cats are demons.
That's true.
Yeah.
So true. So would it be able to go on the wall? It would probably be pushing the boundaries a little bit, but I think the cat wins it over. Emma would be like, "Oh, the cat is so good, Dad. You can keep that one on the wall."
Lona Ranger makes a good point. There is some Bolton in this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Political
I really like where he chooses to be painterly and where he chooses to like just straight up use ink.
Right. I don't know how he makes a distinction, because he's playing around with so many different texture, techniques here throughout it. I don't know how he makes he must noodle at it a lot, and I know
Sure.
that he sometimes complains he's slow, and maybe that's sort of part of it. A lot of it is
The
experimental.
process. Yeah.
Because yeah, when you look at this, there are like texture into texture into texture.
Yep.
Some require some tonal work, so you can see he adds in some paint here to give highlights on the face.
Like the
So yeah,
lashes. Yeah.
he's got to play around a lot. Anyway, yeah, I love this piece. I knew when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's Wayshak needs to be featured on the show's graphic this week. And then I'm just ending with a Kirby piece. You could pick any kind of Kirby. This is it Black Panther 1? Yeah, it was Black Panther 1. Royer inks. Just fun stuff. Layout's great. I always love the way he drew Black Panther. And there was something fun about the middle panel with these guys with the jetpacks.
Yeah.
I just thought it was fun. I mean, because we get Black Panther in 3 out of the first 4 panels, and we know, it was just I love seeing these guys on jetpacks and not seeing Black Panther in that one, because
Well, you get so many Kirbyisms on this page too. I mean, you've got the ugly villain with the monocle and the wide mouth. There's one. You get the Kirby tech with the guys with the jetpacks. That's 2. You get the really extreme, tight in, almost nonsensical perspective in that last panel on the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has got, I mean, as a Kirby page, just an example, this has a ton going for it.
Exactly. And it's Black Panther 1.
To your point, Black Panther is almost unimportant.
Right. I mean, yeah, no, because I love everything else about it too. I even love the way he's drawn, in the middle panel here, the landscape. It's kind of a fisheye lens feel on it. I mean, there's that.
And that horizon line is
you get a hint of just one of the guy's boots here. It's great. I mean, that panel alone is worth it, and no Black Panther in it. I mean, I assume he's in the chopper or whatever behind his leg, but I don't care. I think this is a really, really great example of Kirby's work.
It's cool.
Indeed. All right. Well, we went a little over time, but
not too bad considering.
No, we did all right. So, yeah. Well, hey, when you're done testing your stuff, take a look at what
your stuff. Yeah.
It's not. Hey, for the first time in a long time, everybody's very happy with the new stuff that's in there. So it's not
a long list. No,
it was a short amount. This isn't a full. We're not going from V2 to V3 on this one.
Right.
This was one where, for varying reasons, we wanted to add in a couple of additional features.
They're good features too.
They are, and they tie directly into some updates that are going to be happening on the site. So it was like, yeah, the app needs to do these things as well. And so it basically creates a whole new page on the app that you don't have on CAF today, that we're going to have to think about how we might want to integrate it, because it's a very useful page. And so I think seeing it now and seeing how we might play around with it in the future, I think that it'll lead to interesting developments after that. So
cool.
See, Peter Rowe wants to go out on the Snork wrap. Well, when we can do that. We can send him on his way with the Snork wrap, and we will get I think we will get some kind of video at some point, Chris. With the extended version for this. So let's see. I don't know if it's going to start from the beginning again. It was weird. Let me see. Here we go. Oh, it's on. Oh,
there it is. Right. I'm going to bed.
Turn it up loud. Light that cigar, baby.
Later, guys.
Wisconsin beer break. Comic art head, watch him collect.
Oh, good. Wow. If anybody needed their own theme song, it was Chris Moore. That is for sure. Thank you, Chuck Arnold, for this. This is good. Better than any other late night theme song I've ever heard.
Chris Snorrick in the house. Turn it up loud. Like that.
There you go. Wow, what a way to send us off, right? Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us again. It is New York Comic Con weekend, so again, I encourage you on Friday evening to hang out with the rest of the CAF crew. I will show that one more time. Where was that slide, so I can remind you where it's at, when it is. Where are you? There it is. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Gabby O'Hara's. If you're going to the Philip LeBon opening, you head right over to Gabby O'Hara's after that, and you get to hang out with the CAF crew. I know Colin's going to be there, Kazra's going to be there, Sardo's going to be there, Tertulio's going to be there, and hopefully a slew of art collectors as well. Bring your portfolio. You'll have a great time. And then don't forget, Saturday night, Mike McCone pre-OAX opportunities will be revealed, as well as in my humble feelings about artists these days. One of my favorite artists is going to be coming to OAX, and we will announce that on Saturday night. Tatiana is going to be helming that show, and she will announce that they're coming. They will join her on screen, and we will also reveal, and I'm waiting to find out what they're going to do, because I'll give everybody 24 hours. If his list doesn't fill up, I'm on it. So that's all I have to say. But yeah, tune in Friday night, 9 o'clock for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people will be happy to have this new artist attending the show. So with that, I bid you all adieu. I hope if you are at New York Comic Con, you enjoy the rest of the weekend there. And if you're not, hey, happy collecting. There's plenty of art to buy that you don't have to get at New York Comic Con. Have a wonderful night.